You ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, boom. There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. It's building up. The tension is building in the room. You guys feel that?
Where's he at? Where's he at?
I feel it. What's up, people? Annabelle here, and you're watching Dreams to Reality Podcast. Today, episode 47, I have a very talented person in the house. I'm really excited to hear his story. This is a man of many, many talents, and we're about to find out how he's launched his career and is winning awards and doing some amazing things. He is a film director. He's also a U.S. Navy veteran. This guy's pretty much played every role in the entertainment industry, from being an actor, cinematographer, camera guy. He's done tactical consultations. He's done music videos, films, short films, brand commercials with some major companies like Stella Rosa and many more. He's actually just won 2 awards for his short film, Addicted to You. Make sure you guys check that out. It's currently doing the rounds on the film festivals, both for Cannes World Film Festival and the Mexican American Film and TV Festival. The illustrious award was given to Addicted to You, both for Best Actress, shout out to Sonia Balcazar,
Shout out.
and also for Best Cinematography for the big dog Jeff Reyes, Echoes
boy.
World. Please help me welcome the great Chris Leyva.
That was awesome. That was
Welcome,
dope.
brother. Welcome, brother.
You've done this before. That was beautiful. Great job, man.
Only 47 times.
awesome.
bro.
Yeah, you're right there. That's awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
They say I have like a DJ voice, man.
I love it. Yeah, it's nice and
Yeah.
round. Yeah,
I could
that's
speak
dope.
Spanish too. I could be your locutor for your football games, whatever you guys want to do, you know?
Awesome, bro. Thank
Well,
you so
thank
much.
you for taking the time out of your day, brother, for coming onto the show to share your story. I just became aware of you from Jeff Reyes, who was actually the last guest on my on the last episode, and he was also talking about the same film I just mentioned, which was Addicted to You. I actually hadn't seen it until you sent me the film today, you know, so I just got done watching it probably like 2-3 hours ago, and it's an amazing film.
Oh,
you
thank
know,
you.
it's very captivating. I was going to tell you, like, I really like the writing, you know, for that. And I asked you, like, are you a writer? You said you're part of that process.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do know that the actual writers were Sonia Baltasar and David, how do you pronounce his last name? Manzanales.
Manzanales, yeah.
So shout out to them. And yeah, Sonia definitely deserved that award. It was such a captivating performance that she put on. And shout out to Jeff for the amazing cinematography work. I know you guys work together like that on the film. So congratulations to both of you guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, they killed it. The whole team just, I mean, it shows, you know, and I'm glad that that they got recognized, you know, that we all got recognized, because it was amazing, you know, like it was from concept to where we got. And so,
I'm really curious in finding out that whole process, you know, because like I was mentioning to you before we hit record, I'm fairly new to the entertainment industry and the film industry, but I have my own digital marketing company and something that I want to become the best at, you know, and the way you do that is by, you know, looking at the best and learning from them, you know, and that's something that I actually learned from Jeff as well. It's a lot of it. It's concepts that he's learned from other people that he's applied to what he's doing. Yep. So I'm really curious in finding out your philosophy. So we'll get into that. But guess what? Today, we're going to talk about our sponsor for the show, and it's an awesome app called the Watch app. It is what did you say? It's the catchphrase?
it's the Airbnb of recording studios.
The Airbnb of recording studio. So calling all artists, if you're looking for a professional studio to record, professional audio engineers, and is it producers as well?
Yeah, we're going to be adding producers as well. Right now, we just have 25 recording studios in Los Angeles. And you could also book an engineer. So we have some of the best engineers in Los Angeles. So yeah, it's available right now in Los Angeles. In the next couple months, we're moving to Miami. We have studios in Miami and Vegas. So it's we're going to be spreading over the United States.
Who is the perfect client for this app?
The perfect client, it's ranges, because we have studios that range from $80 a day that you could just go with you and your engineer.
A day, $80 a day?
Yeah, for like 8 hours.
Oh,
8
wow,
to 12
that's
hours. So
really cost effective.
So we have that where it's just a vibe, a small room where you could go in there. But if you need a bigger space, I mean, we just had Anuel at one of our studios.
Oh, wow.
He did a mini documentary on that, and he was at Playhouse Studios.
Yeah.
And like that's what I'm saying. So it could be from a person that just wants to try out the studio, or somebody that's already established. So we have a range of studios and adding daily. So
and it's set up also for band performances. Like if someone wants to record a full band, or is it mostly singers or songwriters?
We do have specific rooms. We have specific rooms that could be for bands. So it just kind of, you could filter it out whichever what you're looking for. So it just depends on your needs, and I'm pretty sure we could find something for you. Or you can find something on the app. It's very
awesome.
Yeah,
guys, make sure you go to the App Store, download the app. It's the Watch app. I think Watch is spelled a little different though, right?
With the E at the end.
At the end. Make sure you put that E at the end. If you're a musician, an artist, and you need a professional studio to record your music to get you to the next level, this is a great concept. I've looked at the app on my phone, and I might be actually going in there and, recording some of my death metal that I like to play.
Awesome. Yeah.
I sing a little bit too though, bro. So I might be doing a little, little R&B, a little soul for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, you got the voice for sure.
Thanks, brother. So let's get into it, man. Today, I'm really curious in hearing your story. I just did a little bit of research on you, and it looks like you've had a pretty awesome career, and it looks like it's growing, and you're getting recognized for the work that you've done and are doing. And I think that's a really important thing, and I'm actually very grateful for these festivals and for these organizations that put on events to actually give people credit for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes as a creator, we want to put out the best work. We want to be recognized for what we do. And sometimes when you don't get that, it's like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Mm-hmm. But when you get recognized for the work, it's a great feeling, and it feels like you're on the right track.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's been a crazy journey. So what got you into film?
What got me into film? I always been on the creative side. During high school, I was as a freshman, I took an elective just like an easy elective, which was like photography.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up taking that photography class and then I was kind of good at it, ended up advancing every year to a different photography class. And I started there, but I didn't feel like it was a career,
Yeah.
It was just like, it was just like trying to, it was just more like a hobby.
Was it film camera or was it
no,
digital?
it was just, it was film. So we had a dark room. And then,
cool.
So we had a dark room. It was film. And I also had a bunch of friends that were like rappers, they're rappers. I can't rap or do beats, but I had to do my part, So I would take pictures.
Okay. Sorry, I messed with yours. That was mine, bro. Sorry. I got real, for people that don't know what happened, I just lowered his headphones a little bit because I have horrible hearing.
Okay.
I destroyed my ears playing music, like I told you.
Oh, yeah.
So I try to lower mine a little bit. I'm sorry, mess with yours. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I kind of started doing some photography, but I also draw, so I draw.
Okay.
After school, me and my best friend Jaime Rocha, we're about to join the Marines, so we're ready to do the Marines thing, and it was kind of I think the last week of high school, and one of my art teachers was kind of hey, you should go check out the school. It's called the Art Institute, and because she would see me sketch and stuff like that,
The one here in Pasadena?
No, I'm from San Diego.
Okay. There's one out there too.
Yeah. So I went to the one in San Diego, and I remember checking it out. My parents never have talked to me about college or nothing like that,
Yeah.
They're my mom's from TJ, my dad's from Sinaloa.
Mexican, you're a Chicano, bro.
I'm definitely the definition of a Chicano for sure. But I ended up telling my sister because she's always been academics. She's a teacher right now.
Yeah.
And she's she's always the little smart one. But I had told her yo, can you go take me to this? It was called Senior Saturday. Can you kind of take me? So she took me there and kind of just dropped me off,
Yeah.
So I went in there and kind of just was checking it out. They're showing us sketches of Disney and this and that. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of dope. So I convinced my mom, hey, we need to enroll me, and my mom's she's my number one supporter,
That's
so
awesome.
We ended up getting in debt.
She got in debt for you.
But
that is a good mother, brother.
Yeah, she's the best. But so I ended up not going to the Marines and getting out of that. And joined, it was media arts and animation.
Okay.
So I first started kind of doing 3D modeling and stuff like that and drawing.
Is that on AutoCAD or something?
It was a 3D Studio Mac and Maya. So it's a lot of.
What year is this?
Is 2002.
Okay.
2002.
They probably have bunch of different stuff now.
They probably do. Yeah. No, I think they still got the same ones. Yeah. I think they still got the same ones. But so I ended up going to that and doing a lot of drawing and sketching stuff like that. But the people there were were so good.
Yeah.
They were so good at drawing. Like they could just, and I'm more of like a sketcher concept. Like even to this day, it's like I could just like kind of like sketch.
Just say it, bro. You were a tagger, weren't you?
I did a little bit.
Like I was good like on freeways and like on stop signs.
We did one freeway for sure. But so I was like, wow, this is a little like the competition is very like, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't get the stuff I had in my head out. Yeah. So I ended up switching majors to graphic design. Okay. And there was a little bit better. I could kind of like, you know, I could kind of get the idea across, you know? So I ended up switching there. And when I ended up switching there, we had a class, which was, it was Premiere. Okay. So Premiere, so it was like video editing, you know? Yeah. So that's where Premiere Pro, yeah. So I ended up doing that. And we had to do like just like a little documentary. So I ended up following my friends, like doing the whole rap thing and this and that.
So the documentary was on your friend's hip hop career?
Yeah, it was cool. Just kind of like.
Did it go somewhere?
I pretty sure I got like a grade or something. I don't know, a good grade. But
no, I was saying your friend's hip hop career. Oh, is he like a big artist now?
Nah, you know, it's the career is the rapper career is hard. You know, it's a marathon. There's a lot of investment. Yeah. And you know, so it's difficult. It's very difficult. You know, it's a I think they're some of the dopest for sure, but. You know, you got to be disciplined and make the right moves. It's very hard to succeed in that for sure. There's a lot of competition and a lot of great people, and it's difficult. So no. Yeah.
I was gonna say let's shout them out,
but they're the homies and
like Snoop Dogg.
But so that class kind of gave me the bug of doing film because a picture, you could just take a picture and it's like, oh, cool picture. That was dope. It ends there. The graphic design is like, okay, dope. That's fire. Yeah. But with film, it's like you could have all the elements, the music, the graphics and everything. And now it's like, now you could control emotions, you know? Yes. Which I was like, ooh, I like this, you know? And that's where I ended up getting like the bug, like, okay, forget everything else. Let's go here, you know? This is
what I want to do.
Yeah. I ended up getting like a little, a little Canon Rebel.
All right. Yeah, that's what I got over here. I got the Rebel 2. That's the Rebel 3 now.
The Rebels.
You know what's funny? My first, job ever was at Sears as I was in the electronic department salesperson. I would sell TVs and cameras. I didn't know shit about cameras, like nothing. I'd be like, this one takes pictures, and I didn't know anything about TVs. I'm like, this one's got picture in picture, and it's a Sony. But I remember when the first Canon Rebel came out, the first Rebel, and it was expensive too. It was like $2,000-$3,000 or something like that. When it first came out.
I think the one I got was probably like in the 800, but it was. Yeah, it was a Rebel, and it was dope, dude. It was dope. So I ended up started shooting music videos for my boys, you know. Nice. And that was fun, you know. Where we at?
So your career into cinematography, into film. You captured Premiere Pro. It caught your attention. You shot your friends' music.
You know what? To be honest, it started before that, just because I remember I'm like a swap meet baby. Like since I was born, you know, my mom was pregnant at the swap meet for a long time. I hated the swap meet because every freaking Saturday, you guys were from Friday to Saturday, it's just like waking up early going. Yeah. And it's like I hate it, and now it's like I like it. You could get a lot of cool props. Yeah. But it started there. We'd go and kind of like just buy stuff. She had a little puesto. But I ended up getting like a little Sony camera. Oh, wow. And I had that during high school everywhere. I was recording. Really? I was just recording. I would record like parties, fights. I got into some stuff with recording fights. And so I had the camera already, you know, but I wouldn't even edit. I would just shoot. So I have right now I have a box of a bunch of videos. Yeah. But not until I went to the Art Institute did I now started editing, you know, and stuff. So it was just, that's where it started, you know,
It's funny that you just reminded me because myself and a group of my friends, we had I don't even know what brand it was. It was like a JVC or something. And it was those mini cassettes. And we would record ourselves skateboarding and doing stupid stunts. This is when like Jackass had come out and all of that. It was actually right before Jackass. They had like that other thing. I can't remember the name of it. CKY. And it was just them skating and doing stunts. And we tried to recreate that ourselves. It was horrible, you know? But it was just, I remember like being on the camera and just recording random stuff, but we never edited. We never knew what to do with it, you know? But that's funny. You reminded me.
I super got inspired by that. There was a neighbor that we had, he was a little bit older, and they would do like crazy rollerblade and skating videos, like crazy dish, put music and just grinding and this and that, and shoot parties and stuff like that. His name was Brian Bell, and that definitely kind of like, ooh, that's dope, you know? I was a little dude, but it was just like, dang, this is like, he was just showing you like what's happening in the city, the parties, the girls. And I think that's kind of when I started just recording, you know? But not until like I started shooting the music videos for my homies when I was like, oh, this is dope. This is my lane, you know? So I ended up going to the Art Institute. I'm doing that. I did that for like, it was like 4 years, but since I switched majors, I didn't get the bachelor's. At that time, I ended up having my daughter at 22 years old.
That'll change things up.
Yeah. So I had my daughter at 22 years old, and I was either like, I was going to school, but like I needed to make money, you know, so I couldn't go to school. So I remember just going like looking for a job, and I was just going from spot to spot, and I found this like, it was like a sign shop. So I found a sign shop, a sign, like signs.
Oh, okay. Like
you know,
we make signs
Yeah,
here.
we make signs, you know, like vinyl signs. And I ended up going in there and pitching myself or whatever and to do graphic design, you know?
Yeah.
And it was crazy because like I went in there, I was like, are you guys hiring this and that? He's all like, oh, we're not hiring, but like we're actually selling the business, you know? And I was like,
really?
okay, cool. What are you selling? You know, so he's like kind of selling me like this and that. And he's all like, I love your energy. And there's this lady, her name is Sandy. I think you and her would like, let me connect you. Cause she's like, she's trying to get this place and she's trying to venture into that. And it seems like, you know, a lot. So she connected us, you know?
Yeah.
So I ended up meeting with her.
She bought it?
She ended up, and it was crazy. Cause it was like, I was like, okay, well, let's go in as partners, you know? Yeah. And someone advised her, like, why don't you just hire him? Which was
like, we'll go in as partners, but I don't got no money to give you.
So she ended up getting the spot, and we started like making signs. I would do like the whole business cards. I would do the signs and stores, logos, and all that stuff. But the thing was, at the time, I was still going to school. So like when I would leave, like the business was closed, but she was still there. She didn't know the language of like, you know, so she didn't know nothing. So it was kind of like tough, you know? Right. And at one point she was just like, I'm gonna close it down, because she was just making enough to like pay me, you know? Yeah. So it's like, oh, hold up, we're just like we're cooking now, you know, like we're going, like we're doing, you know? Yeah. So she ended up turning the business like over to me. Oh, no way. Yeah. We found another guy, and like he got it for a little while, and I just gave myself a raise. So I was just, it's like, cause she sold the business, like, you know, she sold the business and some other guy bought it. But at that time, like at this point, I already had like clientele, like people already coming.
You were the business pretty much.
I was the business. Yeah. And when I would leave, it would be closed, you know? Yeah. But, so he was going to close it. Yeah. And then that's, I was like, hold up, dude. We're doing good, you know? And, he just ended up giving me the business. No way. It was dope. So I was there, but now it was like, I messed it up for being a young kid, but I was making money and I had like a storefront. Yeah. And like I was making like good cash, and then we're like, oh, let's go get a loft in downtown San Diego. Okay. And now I have two big like expenses. Two big pagos with a daughter, and it was just like, whoa, like my hair was falling off at like 22. Shit. It was like a lot of stress, like eye twitching and everything. It was like some big boy moves, you know? Yeah. And at that time I was like, whoa, this is like a lot. And that's when I ended up like joining the Navy, you know? Okay. I was gonna go for they have like a photography program. Really? Yeah. So, but at that time they had like combined two rates, which was photography and journalism, which makes sense. But you needed to score like a higher test on your ASVAB. Yeah. And you didn't qualify. I'm not that guy. Damn. I'm not that guy. You know,
like I'm the creative guy. Don't give me no test.
No, but that's the thing. They're like, you can't go take pictures, but you could be a cop. So I was like, funny. Let's go. I was like, I'm just gonna get in and then end up transferring. But that's how I ended up joining the Navy.
What was your position?
It was a master at arms, so it's like law enforcement.
Oh, okay.
So
you were the Navy police, pretty much.
Navy police, like an MP. With other places that would be like an MP. Yeah. So I ended up doing that. I did 8 years of that. You know, I did 8 years of that, and that was cool. It was an experience. I think I definitely needed that structure. Yeah. You know, because I was like a wild kid, you know?
Yeah, one of the things that I realized from any armed forces, whether it's or any military, is they teach you discipline. Mm-hmm. They teach you how to do things when you don't want to do them. And that's the hardest part for a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, or anybody that's trying to accomplish a big goal, is the discipline and consistency in whatever you're doing. And I feel that a lot, especially men, don't have that discipline discipline to do what you need to do over and over every single day, waking up early, staying out a little bit later, doing the little things that matter. And it's different in the military because it's literally life or death. You know, it's like if you don't do what they tell you and you're in a combat situation, you're fucked, you know. But when it comes to real life, people don't take that seriousness. But if you're really trying to accomplish a big goal, it should be as serious. You know, you should really be disciplined in what you're doing. But I keep on seeing that over and over again. Like same thing. Jeff was also ex-military. He was in the Army. You know, and a lot of these people that are very successful, they have some kind of discipline in what they do on a daily basis. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, those traits, I mean, transferred over like perfectly into the like entrepreneurship. I mean, with the discipline in the military just transfers over like perfectly into the entrepreneurship or into like the creative world, you know, because I think the film and the military have such similarities, really? like rank. Or like, you know, like positions, rank, and the rank structure, it's dope. The language and the pacing of it. So it fit in perfect, you know?
It's funny. It's dope, like with Jeff, I told him like you went from looking through the scope of an M4 to now through, you know, the scope of a freaking cinema camera, you know?
Jeff's a killer.
A lot of the language is kind of similar
it
too.
Is. The pacing.
Shooting and
No, but just even the pacing and the structure and like it's dope, dude. It's very similar, which I love, you know, long hours. It's dope. And I needed the military. I don't know where I would be without it. It just gave me something that I needed. You know, I needed that structure during like when I was a kid. I was a wild kid, just running around everywhere.
Were you a troublemaker?
Super, dude. I was a vago. I was everywhere. Like, I mean, by 11, I was just
like
running
literally
around.
You're part of the vagos?
Nah.
Okay. Well, that's a biker gang, bro.
Nah. But I'm glad I you know, I have a lot of friends that are from hoods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was more of a party kid.
Oh, okay.
A party kid. I was like
remember those they were in gangs, but they call them like party crews.
Party crews, yeah, for sure. I was part of like a little crew for sure. We had like a party crew, FDK. It was dope, and we'd just like throw parties. You know, I was more about just like walling out, throwing parties, and the homies were, you know, like it was crazy. I mean, it was crazy. You know,
it's an easy world to get lost in, and you see it over and over again. And you know, it starts off fun. You know, like we're just having fun. We're hanging out with our friends. We're drinking recreationally. But then it gets very toxic when it becomes like a full-blown addiction. Now you're an alcoholic, you're addicted to drugs, and you just screw your whole life away. And it happens all the time.
That was me. And I feel like definitely like, I think like a little party druggie. Like I would do like, you know, I was doing drugs in high school, you know, like a lot of like ecstasy and just going crazy. You know, I had like a lot of freedom. I had like a lot of freedom going everywhere. We'd go to TJ. And like party like at 16, it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and the drinking age in TJ is like 15 or something.
Yeah. It was dangerous, you know. And I'm so blessed that you know, I had like people praying over me because I don't understand some things how like, you know what I'm saying? Like
how did I not die?
I have homies that were way less, you know what I'm saying, that were way less wild than us that ended up locked up for years or like ended up like, it's just crazy. And I'm super blessed, you know, to be like, oh wow, survived that. It could have been a whole different story, you know? Yeah, man. It was it was tough.
Public disclaimer, kids out there that are 15, 16 years old, do not go to TJ and get drunk.
Do not go. It's dangerous.
Don't join a party crew.
No. Go to school, get in activities, you know, like get busy. Do not like have all this freedom running around because there's really nothing good of it. Like right now, when it's happening, it's fun, but you have a lot of people that later on are paying the consequences and are just like, what was I doing? You know, like, and are barely restarting their lives. I feel like I'm playing catch up right now.
Really?
You know, for sure. Yeah. If I would have been like, you know, like younger right out of high school, had a plan, I would have been, I think, in another position. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I'm in the right place, right time, and the stuff's happening. I feel like destiny's pulling me where I need to be, and it's dope. And I think going through those experiences and those stories are helping me out because these are the type of stories that I want to tell. So it was crazy, man. It was crazy. At one point I got caught crossing boyos across the border at 16. Yeah, dude, that experience was crazy. So that's how I learned how to drive a stick.
No.
Yeah. It was crazy because I'm like 10 minutes from the border, you know?
Yeah.
And the homies were like, they were crossing people making money, you know?
Yeah. And, so you're a little coyote, like.
I did it once and got caught, and I'm glad that I got caught because I would have kept doing it. It was just fast, easy money, you know? And
how much were you making per?
It was for the trip. It was 1,500.
1,500?
Yeah.
And you were how old?
I was like 16.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
was
Like
16.
for a 16-year-old kid making $1,500 for a trip.
Yeah. And then the
You probably would have done it more.
I would have done it more. I would have for sure done it more. Like
Yeah.
the homies were doing it and they had stacks and there were little kids with like stacks,
Oh
you know?
my God.
But it was crazy.
That's
A pollero showed me how to drive stick.
That's funny.
Yeah. Can I tell you about the story?
Yeah. I want to see how you got
happened?
caught.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So they gave me a car in San Isidro.
What kind of car was it?
I think it was a little Taurus, like a little Taurus. And
Don't tell me you burnt the clutch the first
dude, that was just like it was bad trying to learn how to drive this. So the guy was like, I drove it to TJ and following this dude, right?
Yeah.
And once I get to TJ, it was the craziest thing. So it's like this hotel, right? This big hotel that you drive in. And as soon as you drive in, it's almost like a U, right? I drive in and it's just like balconies. And as there's balconies and I drive in and there's just people everywhere.
Just looking down?
Just waiting. Like there's other people that are going to cross.
Oh, wow. So they're literally waiting for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's crazy because they're looking at you like you're like their savior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This little 16-year-old kid pulling up in a car, all like.
It was just like that. It was just like, you know? So I get in there and luckily they got me another car.
Oh, okay.
Dude, they got me another car and it was like NASA, like NASCARs. They get the car up, right?
Yeah.
And then you have some Mexican cats just roll up and they like put blocks in back of the tires to lift it, you know? So they lift it. So when the guys are in there, it's even.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching these people go in the car like, oh, dude.
So they go under it?
No, they go in the trunk. Well, no, they put like blocks in the shocks.
Yeah.
And then so they lift it, but the guys were in the trunk, just literally in the trunk.
Oh my God.
3 guys, dude, in the trunk.
A tiny little trunk.
So yeah, they gave me another car or whatever, and so I have them in the trunk. I end up going in the border, and it was so long, bro. It was like at least a 3-hour thing. It was so
Those
long
dudes
that
are sweating and
bro, it
blowing
was
up
so long that I even forgot they were in there. I'm over here buying papitas, just all the freaking chucherias that they have.
Yeah.
And not until like I got to like I'm next.
Yeah, then you realize like,
I see the freaking American flag, and it's like, oh, it's about to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So I go, and it's crazy because I remember like I was about to go, and they're about to let me go. You know, they're like, cool, they're about to let me go, and out of nowhere, he just told me to stop, and then they brought the dog, and there it was. Dun, dun, dun. They get me, they freaking give me like take me out of the car. And it was crazy. Like they take me in this room, and it's like I'm sitting in this room, and in front of me, like there's the 3 guys that were in the trunk, just like looking at me,
right back at you.
Yeah, just looking at me like all like dogging me, like you know. And it was crazy. Just because I was a minor, they let me go. The guy comes and he's all like, "Hey, was that your car?" No. And then he's like, "All right, go." And I'm just like, "Go." He's like, "Go before I change my mind."
You're
so I was like,
shoot, I'm out of here.
Yeah. They didn't call my mom. They didn't nothing.
So
they
you
just
got
let
off
me
scot-free.
go. I got off. Yeah, it was on my record for sure. Like when I joined the.
Really? It popped up?
Yeah, when
what did it say?
I don't know. Probably like I don't know what it said. Maybe like smuggling, human trafficking. I don't know.
You're a minor though. Human trafficking.
But yeah, so when I joined the Navy, they brought it up and they just kind of like asked me about it. But I was like 16 and you know, they let me go. But I was like, that's kind of like the world I was in, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of like drugs, like, you know, a lot of ecstasy, that kind of like that took over for a while.
Yeah.
I was that kid where it's just like their parents is like, don't be around those kids, you know. I was that.
You
that
were the
guy.
bad kid.
I was yeah.
You know, don't hang around.
Yeah,
around Chris.
I wasn't like a cholo or nothing like that, but I was just like, I'm telling you, like we're partying, we're going.
You were an LV back then, right?
Nah.
What was your nickname back then?
My nickname was a kid.
Kid?
Yeah, because I was always around, just like, you know, this was a freaking kid. He just, you know,
hanging around with some hard people. Huh?
That's the thing too, because I was when I started hanging out with the homies or whatever, I was like 11 and they were already like teens.
Yeah.
They're like 16. I was like the little kid. So it was like, look at this kid. So I was just always with them, you know, and they were already like, you know, they're like
trafficking people and selling drugs.
Yeah, they're like already in the activity. They're already smoking. They're already. So I'm just watching these guys like, damn, these are the cool kids, you know, hanging around with them, and that kind of.
Would you say you were looking up to them, admiring them?
Yes, for sure. You do. They got the cool names, you know. They have the cool names. They got the girls. They got the cars. Yeah. So it was 100%, and I'm like 11, 12, like, yes, for sure, 100%. I definitely would say that I was a wannabe, you know. I wanted to be a gangster so bad, but luckily, like my dad, like I feared my dad so much that it was just like, oh, that's not happening, you know. So I'm glad that he was there to kind of like put that fear in
that discipline in you. And that's a big deal because a lot of people don't have a father figure, you know, and they look up to these guys that are, you know, doing these things as their father figure, and they end up just repeating the same pattern. And that's why they say, you know, there's 3, 4, 5th generation welfare recipients and, you know, criminals, and then there's 3, 4, 5th generation multimillionaires and wealthy people. So the wealthy get wealthier and the poor stay poor, because the environment that you grow in, it affects your paradigms, you know. So if all you see, hear, smell, taste is crime, poverty, you know, all of that, then you kind of have a paradigm of, this is what I am used to, this is what I'm comfortable with, you know, this is what I know. And if all you know is wealth, you know, success, business, all of that, like you grew up with that, then that's what you feel you deserve. And then you kind of end up almost sabotaging yourself if you don't really change those thought processes as you develop into an adult. And luckily you had a father that kind of held you disciplined. And then it sounds like the military really helped you out as well.
Yeah, the military saved me. But yeah, 100%, it's definitely your environment. And it's crazy because it's not really like the kid's fault, because I was one of the kids that did have a dad, and all the homies didn't, you know, like it was rare that they did, you know, so they're out there running around. So, yeah, man, it was crazy. And it's like, you were so influential at the time, you know, you don't have no mentors. The importance of a mentor is huge, you know, is huge, especially at that age, you know?
Yeah.
And the bigger homies were the mentors, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm telling you, like when it was either fun or dangerous.
Wow.
Like that's what it is. Either we're clowning or we're like
putting in work.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was a party kid. I was more. I wasn't like the putting in work guys.
Yeah.
We would always run into homies that were coming from putting in work and this and that. So
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have a buddy. His name's Gary Cornegay, multi-millionaire. This guy's from South Central. He wrote a book called The Preacher's Kid because his dad was a preacher in the middle of South Central, but all of his brothers were gangbangers, drug traffickers, like in it, you know?
Yeah.
And he decided to take a different route as well, and he became super successful in the financial industry. And he just started a nonprofit called Father Figures, but it's spelled figure like, you know.
Oh,
so it's inner city mentorship, but only from people. You have to make over $100,000 a year just to qualify. And so they're taking the kids from the hood and taking them to experience like something outside of that, you know, taking them to, you know, penthouse suites to watch like games and like introduce them to different people that are like actually helping them. Because most of these like mentorships, they keep them in the hood, you know, but it's about taking them out of that environment so they can experience something different. Like, oh shoot, I didn't know you can live like this. You know, now I can see myself doing this. Yep. And until you become aware that there's a different way of living, you know, all you know is all you know.
100%. That's what changed me. Going to college in a different city that wasn't like my city was just like, oh wow, this is different. And that expanded like my vision a little bit, where it's like, wow. You know, but I would always go back into it. You know, I'd go to school and just like, wow, this is crazy. And then I always go back with the homies, you know. Yeah. But like the military taking me out, and I was in Cuba, Diego Garcia. I passed by Singapore. That just was like, wow, the world is big. But world, it's like, wow, you know, and that's 100%. It's taking them out, showing them these examples, and kind of being a mentor. Yeah, for sure, 100%. My mother-in-law, she was a command master chief in the Navy. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? And she was she was dope. And that I feel that was one of my biggest mentors. You know, like I was just like, I wanted to make her proud. Yeah, I wanted to make her proud. Like when I went on one of the ships, she was like the president. Yeah, she's like the second in command on a ship. Yeah, it's, you know, the CEO and her. Yeah, and it's like she was split the sea. She's just walking. It was just like, you know, she had such a big she was such big up there, but she would still kind of see me like see the good in me. And she, you know, like she drives nice cars and that stuff, but she wasn't presumida or nothing. Yeah. And that's what, like, to this day, I'm just like, I want to be good. Like I want to do good and impress her, you know? Yeah. And that was my mentor. It's just like, I just imprinted into her. And like, I was just like, I want to, you know, she's dope, dude. Yeah. And it's just, yeah, man, like getting out of that environment is huge. Showing them like that there's other options, you know? Yeah. Cause, yeah, man, you got to get them out of there and show them different things. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, well, I'm glad were able to open your horizons and experience the world, and now you're doing some great things. So once you got out of the military, I did read on your IMDb that you did go to film school as well, right? So you went to LA film school. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went to the LA film school. Yeah.
So you got a degree in what there?
It was film production, a BA in film production.
Okay. So what was the transition from leaving the military to becoming a director?
It was crazy because when I was in the Navy, I was in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, that's right. I didn't see that. Were you torturing waterboarding people and stuff?
That was on the other side of the fence. But I was more like law enforcement. So what I was doing is kind of just, there was like rapes. There was like always fights with Marines and, with Marines and Army. So I was more of that guy.
Yeah.
On the other side of the fence is the waterboarding.
Oh my God. Just kidding. I could hear them gurgling, but I didn't see anything.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was SEALs or what. Nah,
didn't they say they like played like some freaking Slayer or something for like 40
I don't know, but some people got in trouble for doing some stuff on the news. But it was crazy because I was in Guantanamo Bay, and like I always like, as soon as I joined the military, I was always like the artsy guy. Like if we have a football team, I'm doing the logos, I'm doing the pictures. That's never left. You know, I was always that like creative guy. Like so I was always doing that, and it was crazy. I ended up like one of my friends, because like whenever we would be on post or whatever, just wasting time, I would always just draw. You know. And one of my homies was like, dude, that's dope. Like, do me a tattoo. And I'm just like, well, I don't like do tattoos, you know? And he's all like, yeah, man, if I buy a machine, like, would you do it? I was like, whatever, right? So he bought the machine, and I was like, oh, damn, okay, cool. So I ended up like drawing on an apple a little bit. Yeah, we could do this. And I ended up
you did your first tattoo?
I did my leg. I already had tattoos, but I did like my leg, and I was like, oh, this is doable.
Oh, you did it on yourself
Yeah,
first.
I just did it on I did it on the apple and did like a little thing, and I was like, forget this. And I did it on myself, right? So I ended up doing it on myself. I was like, okay, I could like do pretty straight lines. Yeah. And he ended up letting me like tat him or whatever. It was like, oh my, it was horrible. But there's no.
Would you get in trouble in the military if they found out?
Well, let me tell you the story.
Oh.
Yes, for sure. But so I ended up.
It's like prison, bro.
It's prison and the military have so many similarities.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It's crazy. It's just like it's a system, so it's the same system, you know. But so I ended up doing him a tattoo, and then like there's nothing to do in Guantanamo Bay, so it's like kind of boring. You're either running, working out. There's not too much to do, right? You can snorkel and stuff like that. But I started like doing tattoos or whatever, and everybody would always be in my room, you know. And it's like now I was like they're paying me, and I'm just like, dude,
you are a hustler, bro. You're always making money,
bro. It was dope, dude. So I just started doing tattoos, like whatever. And I started like making money, you know? Yeah. So it was dope. It was like a little party in my room, always bumping, like tatting up people. As soon as I would get off of work, I would go and just tat up people, you know? Yeah. And I started making like good little money. I remember I had a fat little chunk, you know? And whenever I would be tired, I would just like, smell it. It was like a fat little chunk, you know? So I'm like,
it's all wrapped up in rubber bands.
Yeah, it was dope, dude. It was like, but so I'm like doing these tattoos, and I'm getting a little bit better, and I have a line, and it's always like a party, right? And, it's crazy because this one night we live in the barracks, and like we were wilding out, you know, like people were just partying and this and that. And on top was like our supervisor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So our supervisor was up top, and it was like 2 a.m. or something like that.
You guys are making a ruckus.
This fool pulls up to my room, stops everybody. He's like, what are you guys doing? And he saw me doing it. I was just like, ugh. He got everybody's IDs. Yeah. And then he just like let us go to sleep and woke us up. And like he had us all lined up for like an hour, just freaking everybody that was in my room, just
standing
lined up right there, you know? So he's going in there. He's just talking all kinds of stuff or whatever. And then I go in there, and then he's like, nah, wait till the end. He kicks me back out. And I'm just like, ugh. So I go in the room, and then he's kind of like, what were you doing in there? You know? And I was just like, well, whatever you saw is
what I was doing.
Yeah. And he's all like, all right, we've been trying to look for this guy doing tattoos this whole time. I can't believe it was you. Da, 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 da. And I'm like law enforcement, you know, like we're like the cops there, and I'm over here
you're like
doing
the last person that should be doing this.
And then I was like a watch commander in charge of like sections and stuff like that. So it's like he was mad disappointed, you know. Yeah. He's all, I need you to go get all your stuff, bring it to us, and I need all the names that you tattooed. Yeah, because we're gonna have to, you know, we got to make sure, you know, like test them and this and that. So I come back and bring him my little stuff or whatever. And I was like, here it is. All right, where's the list? I was like, I don't have a list. Yeah. Like, let's do whatever we got to do. You know,
you fell on the sword, huh?
Yeah, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to bring nobody, you know, like that's it.
I'm not a rat.
Yeah, just like, I'm just like, that is what it is, you know? Yeah. So they ended up bringing a medical, and like, they were like, how'd you do it? You know? And like, I had to explain the whole way.
The whole process.
Yeah, the whole process. And I was YouTube.
I swear it's sanitary.
They were kind of like, he's like, was pretty legit.
You wear gloves.
It was pretty legit. I had like my sanitary section, because I was just following I had bought a DVD.
I had my back thinner or whatever it's called.
So it was like, they were just like, that kind of saved me. They're like, oh yeah, we don't got to test them, but it was pretty good. And one of my homegirls, I did her whole arm. She was like the one that was like, I'm going to get out anyways. I'll tell them it was just me. Yeah. You know, so she ended up like saying it was just me or whatever. And I ended up getting in trouble for that. But they weren't like, I was such a good sailor. You know what I'm saying? Like I had like, you know, that they let me slide. They literally just spared me, you know?
Damn, bro, you're always getting out of trouble.
Dude, I'm blessed, bro. Like so many times, bro. So I ended up getting out of that, right? So I ended up getting out of that. And now I got this whole like, all this money, you know what I'm saying? So there I go to the.
They didn't confiscate that, right?
They didn't confiscate that. Good thing. Oh, maybe I wouldn't have been here, but I ended up going by another camera.
Oh, no way.
So with that,
what'd you get?
I think it was another Canon.
Oh,
so I got another Canon. And now I'm just running around, just shooting, and I had rapper homies there too, so I'm just like shooting them
at the base.
Yeah.
Really?
Because there's all walks of life. The guy that gave me the name LV, he was a producer.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He's a my dog LV, and I was like, oh, he was from Harlem. And I was like, oh, I like that. That shit's hard.
Yeah.
Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, that shit hard. But so he gave me the name, and that's what got me back into like filming,
Yeah.
And then that's when I started just like being like a seeker of like, damn, this is dope. Like, just looking around, how do you shoot this and that? And I come across a video which was dope, and I see a BTS video and it's Jeff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like, it was a BTS. He was on a chair. He directed which I think was Invasion or something, but he was on the set, you know, and he's just talking about the film, and you can see the people and the makeup. And then from there, I'm just like, this is like a career. I didn't even see that. Like, I didn't even think like people do this and they get paid for that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, him and Matt Alonso, they were like my dudes, I was like, damn, these. So I started try to like mimic them and like just the lighting, just little stuff like that,
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of like was like, oh, that's dope. So from Cuba, I ended up going to San Diego. I ended up going to San Diego, which that's where I'm from. And then just got back with all the homies, and now I'm shooting videos, and I'm like, I'm the guy.
You're the music video guy.
Because I'm just like copying Jeff and Matt Alonso, and it's like I'm getting my own little formula. I'm getting, so now I'm like, I'm killing it, and people are just like, there's nothing like that in San Diego. At the time, there wasn't. Right now, there's some people killing it.
What year was this when you got back and started shooting music videos?
I think I'm like maybe 2012. 13.
Okay.
Around,
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 30. I'm about to be, I was going to say 38. I'm about to be 40 in December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm already there. Yeah. Fuck out. It's all
it's
done.
a perfect age, brother.
It's good, bro. I'm excited. I like.
Look at Steven Spielberg.
But, so I ended up coming back to San Diego. Now I'm shooting. Now I'm like, I'm in the flow. I'm like, the military's not even like,
it's not on your mind anymore.
It's not in it. I was so.
Did you already leave the military
no,
at this point? You're still working?
Yeah, so when I would get off.
You're still police?
Yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm putting on the uniform, but I'm not present.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I'll go shoot music videos, and they had put me in a harbor patrol, so I was on this little like boat in the middle of the water, just like kind of whatever. Yeah, so I just would shoot and edit on the boat,
Yeah.
So.
Getting all seasick and stuff?
Yeah, dude, I get seasick for sure.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so.
That's the worst, being a
sailor,
a sailor, and getting seasick.
That's me. I'm that guy. That was me. It's like, how? But so now I'm just like shooting this and that, and now I'm like jumping on like on the social media. I'm on social media, and Jeff had put a post that said looking for an intern.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's looking for an intern, and I was like, oh snap. So I hit him up, and he's like, yeah, just come over or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I drive from San Diego to LA. Right? Yeah. I go over there, kind of link up with them, and it was dope because I was like stalking him on like how dope he was, and so meeting him was just like, wow, I'm like right here. Yeah. And I showed him one of my videos, and he was like, okay, cool, little sad face, or like little face that he has, and he was like, cool. And he was like, that's kind of dope, Yeah. And that alone, just him saying like, oh, that's kind of dope, I was like, okay, if he's saying that, like I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track. So now I was like interning with them, and I would get off of work and then go to San Diego, go to LA, and kind of like edit and then drive. Dude, the first time when after that first meeting, he's like, yeah, come over. And I don't think he knew that I lived in San Diego.
He thought you were like around the corner. Yeah.
So I roll up to one of the shoots or whatever, and I get there, and then he's like, all right, cool, we're gonna paint this wall and this and that. I was like, all right, cool. And they all left. Like they went to go shoot a music video.
So they just put you to paint.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to learn, but I was like, I'm here, like I'm do. So I was just like, go drive back to San Diego, and it's like one of them was lacking. I was so like hungry to like be in that world, like whenever I would come with Jeff, there was always something like dope, I'd roll up, just see like mad smoke coming out of the building, and I go and it's Be Real. They're shooting the music for Be Real and Burner, and I was just like, this is crazy. Like cool people. Yeah, LA was just like, wow, like there's always something happening. You turn around over here, they're like shooting a video over there, like it's just like it was dope, And in San Diego, it's more like oh, I want to do this. And they're like, fool, chill. You know, it's like they're in LA. It's like, dude, I want to do this. And they're like, that's dope, dude. But what if you had this? Or like, you know, and that they're building on your thing. And it's just like, it just felt like
it's like people, the camaraderie and the creativity juices are all flowing, and you got people with like minds. That's the thing I tell people. It's very important to have a mastermind, a group of people that you don't necessarily have to be in the same exact industry or anything, but it's even better if you are, where you can kind of create a mastermind. You know, you have your creative juices, their creative juices, and you combine a whole new thing, and it elevates your skills. It elevates your capacity to where. That's why they say it's important to hang around with people that are doing something or going somewhere. Because if you stay with the homies, you would be doing exactly what they are.
Like how I was saying is like back home, I was like forcing people to like, yo, let's go shoot this. Like, let's like, you know, I was the guy always like hyping everybody up, and it was like pulling teeth. Like they were so talented. Like I would see like, dude, you guys are fire. Let's go. Like I opened up a recording studio for them. Like, you know, you guys go in there and just record and like, it's like, they wouldn't even take advantage of it. And it's like, whatever the case may be. But coming out here was like everybody was on that vibe. Like, yes, you can. How you gonna do it? Let's go. And it was like perfect, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I need to be out here.
Yeah.
You know, I need to be out here. And I was at the time where I was about to get out of the military.
Yeah.
Or re-enlist. I was about to re-enlist, and I had orders.
How long was your contract? Your first one?
I did force. So I did four.
So
yeah, I did 8.5.
Okay.
I did 8.5. And it was a time to re-up. And if I would have re-upped, that would have been a lifer, you know. I would have been there, and I would have done the 30 for sure, and I would have killed it, you know, because it was like, I would have killed it. I was killing it already.
Yeah.
But it got to that point where it's just like, oh, what are you going to do? And it's like,
that's
I'm telling you.
the fork on the road,
Yeah,
brother.
that is the fork in the road. It was crazy because I went from being like, every single command that I went to, I was like, damn, this guy really wants it. Like I was focused. I was like, the guy. I was the guy. I was always in charge of people, and it was like, which helped me in directing because I always had people always talking to big crowds.
Yeah.
And that kind of like looking at it back, and I was like, wow, that was like tools that I'm using right now. Like, you know? So it got to that point where it's like, all right, what are you going to do? I was going to go to Bahrain, and you go to Bahrain, you make money.
What's Bahrain?
Bahrain, it's in the Middle East.
Oh, okay.
So we have a base there. It's like, we have a base there. And
what country?
What's in the Middle East? What is it?
Saudi Arabia?
I don't know, bro.
Somewhere over there, right? There's a lot of dirt.
yeah, it's hot. It's hot. But the good thing about it, all the homies were going, and they were just making mad money because they don't tax you, so they're just stacking. You don't got to pay for rent. Dang. Like it was like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make some money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it's like I already had the bug of like I need to do this LA thing. Like I said, I was lacking in the military. I wasn't focused. Like I'm telling you, I would come down to LA. Jeff would give me footage. I would go back over there and be editing on the boat. Yeah. Be editing stuff, send it to him, and he'd be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? It was just, dude, like this one time it was crazy. I ended up going to Jeff's or whatever, and I drive back, and I'm driving back because I got to go to work like at 3 a.m. So I'm driving back. I get there, I'm all in my uniform. And I'm super late, you know, I'm super late. Like I missed like the whole like guard mount, which is like the meetings before you go on shift. Yeah. And I go in there and they're all gone. And I get like my weapon from the armory, and usually need to have somebody there to like kind of like upload you, you know, like you go through the whole, everything's a process, right?
Right.
So I go in there and there's nobody there.
So you just get your own stuff.
You know, and I just put my thing and go. And as soon as I turn around, there's like a high ranking off.
So is that where the hell you been?
So he's like, come here. So he brings me up there, and I'm just like, and then he just starts going in on me, this and that, who's in charge of you, blah, 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 blah. And then he looks at me, and he's like, do you have earrings on? And I had my earrings on because I wasn't even living there. I was just you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even.
You're like, no?
And my little diamond earrings, I lost them. But it was just like, I wasn't even there no more, you know? I was just like, I wanted
mentally had checked out.
I had checked out, and going from being like this, like, you know, this like star player to like, that's not even it. I'm just literally wearing the, you know, I want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, so I go back to my mother-in-law, and I'm just like, kind of like, hey, this is where I'm at. So I'm about to re-enlist. I think I really could do this, you know, like, I love it. Like, like I feel alive when I'm doing it,
You're
you know?
passionate for it.
Yeah. But so it's like, but let me know if you say like, it's not a good idea, like, you know, and I would have listened to her.
Yeah.
She said, go. She said,
nice. She
said, go. I wish I could have like had that passion and followed it, you know? So I'm like, all right, cool.
You know, the word passion it derives from an Italian word, passionate, which literally translates to suffer or to endure. So when you have passion for something, it means that you're willing to suffer for it, you know? So it was probably an easy choice to stick with the Navy because you're already in it. You already put 8 years in, and like you said, you would have killed it. You already had that there. But your passion lied in film and in creating. And the problem that a lot of people have is that they will choose safety over freedom a lot of times. And, you know, I'm not gonna put anyone down for choosing safety when they have to. They have kids, they have a family, have bills to pay, they have things to do, and they can't really risk as much as other people. But eventually, you know, it comes a point in your life where you look back, and one thing that I don't want to have is regret. Like, man, I should have pursued that. Like, I could have done great in this. I should have done this. I should have done that. And so many people go to the grave with never actually going after what they had passion for. You know, so I always commend and respect people that have the balls, you know, to follow what they have dreams about, you know. And it takes courage, you know, because I'm sure in the beginning you're like, dang, I just left this career and I'm doing something completely different. And it could go either way, but having that persistency, that discipline, and that passion for what you're doing, it'll carry you a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seems like it's carried you pretty far.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's kind of like when she gave me the go, I jumped, and I was just, and it was scary because, I mean, like how you're saying, like it was when I found the whole LA thing, and like, cause before it was just fun to help the homies. But when I found out like, wow, there's like jobs and careers, like being on big sets with Jeff and like seeing like everything, and it was just like, yeah, that's where I need to be, you know? Yeah. And every single day in the military, like I was like dying. It was just like, and it's crazy because I would have had, it was like
killing your soul.
It was like it was killing me for reals. And it's like, I could see my future already. Even if I was like, if I was going to kill it, like that guy kills it, that's where you're going to be at. You already could see like, that's going to be you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, oh,
you're going to be a bitter freaking sergeant,
and I don't even, like, and they got, you know, they got cars, but you're literally like dying every day. That's how I felt. Maybe some people love it, you know, and it's their thing. But for me, it just, I need to be creative. I need to be like, you know, and like when I would shoot music videos, like being out there, it's like a high. It's almost like a, you know, like I get nervous. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
It's excitement.
It's like,
see, people sometimes confuse nervousness for excitement.
It's a mixture of both because I'm nervous and I'm excited and I can't wait to, like, I'm like, it's like a lot of pressure. I don't care how small or big the production is. Till this day, it's like I get nervous because I care. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to do good. It feels like a fight. Like it feels like, but as soon
sometimes when because I have friends that are fighters as well. When they're fighting, I get nervous. Like I'm about to fight. Shit, like I'm about to fight right now too.
It's so dope because you feel alive. Yeah, you know, you feel like whoa, like like once I start, like I'll start clap because there's so much like I need to let this out. You know, and it's just like I don't know, like you know, it's a lot. Yeah. But as soon as I go and then I see the first shot and I'm just like, okay, cool, I do this. I do this, and it's like a fight. You know, you get cracked the first time and you're like, okay, this is nothing. This is what I do. You know, and that's what it felt like, and it feels like that till this day. And like I love it. It's like that whole like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a high. Yeah. That's my zone. That's like that's where I'm like we're cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's coming and it's just like it's dope, dude. And that's when I ended up getting out, going to film school, and I'm just like, I'm straight, you know, like I was telling my mother-in-law, like I'm interning, this guy's doing this guy's doing that, like I'm in. Yeah. It's like easy transition, right? Like it's nothing, like I'm gonna be this big guy.
Yeah, a lot of he came in with like really high hopes and like it's gonna be a cakewalk.
Yeah, it's like I get there and Jeff is gone, like gone. He's like shooting in Mexico, Cancun, a movie, and he's nowhere to be found. You know?
You're left alone. To your own devices.
Yeah. So it's cool. So now I'm at the film school. Yeah, I'm at the film school, and it's like I just got out of the military, so I'm just like in that mode, you know. Yeah, I'd get there early, leave super late when the people are cleaning. Like, oh yeah, vamos a cerrar, like the little Mexican ladies, and I'm just like I was just happy to be there, you know. Yeah, I came to like. I left my kids to come out here. My kids, I have 2 kids. They're in San Diego, you know, and it's like I came out here, so it's like I'm not playing. I didn't come to kick it. I came to kill it, you know. Yeah. And it's like that just helped out. I'll do anything, like any position, and I did. I started from like a PA. Go get these guys coffees. Go stand on this light, and it was dope because I was like learning, you know. And I was like, I knew I wanted to be a director. Like in college, everybody wants to be a director. As soon as you get there, I want to be a director.
Yeah.
And as it starts going, they're like, oh yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's not what I want to do. I'm more of a producer. I'm more of a, like, I like to do the set design, you know, and you find your lane, you know, but it was just like, I'm telling you, I was already like shooting. Like I was already shooting in San Diego, and that was like that was my high.
You're already directing back then.
Well, you're directing. It's kind of like how you were saying. I was the light guy. I was all the guys. I was everything.
You're a one man band.
One man band, you know. And I thought I was the man, you know, because in San Diego people weren't doing it like that, you know. So I was like the man, and then
I got this LA vibe and SD.
And it's like I get over here, and it's like they're like once you go on set, like it's not like that. You got to know every single spot. It's not just you doing your thing. It's like stay in your lane, kill your lane, and do that, you know? So I was blessed enough to like start from the bottom, from being like a grip, go like get us this hot metal and bring us these lights. Go, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just wanted to be
pretty much did every position to learn it.
Which is awesome, which like, I love it because I know what every position does. I could calculate how long it takes. Like you can't, like there's some directors that never done those positions, and they're just like, go around thinking like they're the man or whatever,
high on their horses.
Just because you say something in like, oh, we're gonna do this, like in a tone doesn't mean it's gonna make it faster. There's a realistic thing where it's like, and for me, it's like I know because I've done these things and I've done them like I've done them to the best of my ability. So I even like it doesn't. That's gonna take long. You know what I'm saying? From here,
so you'll know, okay, if we're on a time crunch, it's probably best to shoot this way or that way because of these reasons. Yeah, and it's like everything. I've done every position, which I love that. Like I took the long road, you know. I took the long road, and it's been a dope experience, you know. So I get to LA. Finally, Jeff comes back, and now we connect, and it's like we're freaking cooking. You know, he's like my big brother. He's been doing it. You guys had him here. He's been doing it since he was 16. Joined the military, came back out. He is in the entertainment business. And has been like he's connected. He's the man, you know. And he would just take me everywhere and take me into these production meetings, and I'm just there. Ear hustling, just learning. I'm there to learn. Like I was just like, I'm not wasting nothing. I'm not wasting no time. I'm like making this worth it, you know? And that has helped me out. So thank you so much for Jeff for just always being huge, that mentor, like the definition of a mentor. And he never like physically like showed me where it's like, okay, you got to type. He just let me be in the rooms and learn. Yeah. I want to give a huge shout out to Jeff Reyes, Echoes World. He is a mentor to a lot of people. I was on another music video set, and I was doing BTS content pictures and some social media reels and stuff like that for this artist. And then the main videographer there, his name's OG Pams. Oh, Pams is a killer. And then he's like, oh yeah, Jeff Reyes was my mentor too. And he's like, give him because I told him I'm gonna be with him the following day. And I'll tell him, I said, what's up? And then every time I meet someone, like, oh, like everybody really respects Jeff. And he invited me to a set, like I was mentioning to you. It was my first time being on a big production set, and same thing. He didn't spend much time like telling me in detail what he was doing, but I was able to talk to the creative director. He was one of the producers. There's another producer there. Like everybody in there, I got to talk to and find out a little bit more about what they did and how it works. And I'm really curious and finding out how all these positions work together in unison, because when you're shooting big productions, you can't do this stuff on your own. You can't. You need a team. You know, you need people to help you out. And Jeff is the guy that puts people together, you know, and I think he has a good eye for talent. And when he sees someone that he feels has the same passion that he does, he kind of tends to help them out in any way he can. So again, huge shout out to Jeff Reyes out there for helping a lot of people out. Yeah, he's my brother. He's my mentor. He's the reason why I'm here. For sure. And that's the thing. He'll give people these opportunities, but he'll make them earn it, you know? Yeah. Because you gotta earn it. You know what I'm saying? You can't you can't come and be like, I've been shooting music videos by myself this whole time. I want to be a director. Yeah. It's like, nah. Anything you do in this life, you have to earn. You have to earn your position. And if you don't earn it, it's not going to last long. And the most important thing, I think, for success is longevity. You know, there's a lot of people that are, flash in the pan, here today, gone tomorrow. But for me, true success is longevity, and taking that long road that you did, it gave you some things that you could only learn through experience. And I tell people this all the time. There's a big difference from having information and having insight. You can get information from YouTube, from a book, from, a lot of different places, but insight you can only get from you actually doing it and experiencing it yourself. So sometimes those mistakes, those errors, those fuck ups are actually the biggest lessons in your life. Because you learn from the pain, not to repeat those same mistakes. So as long as you don't make a drastic mistake where you're dead, you can get up and dust yourself off and learn from that. But now you're a very successful director, and you're growing in that field. I really want to get your to you, what is the position of a director? What do they do on set?
I think that the director is he's the leader of the vision. He has the vision. He's kind of like the force that's leading everything. Everybody's like assisting him for the vision, So it's like you have a great, it's like a 3-pack. I think you have a great relationship with the DP, you and the DP, and also
for people that don't know acronyms in the entertainment industry, what is a DP?
It's the director of photography. So he's the cinematographer. So he's in charge of like the look of it. So
the cinematographer, the DP, director of photography, they're in charge of the actual camera, what it's looking at.
Yeah, for sure.
What lens to use, which lighting, the vibe, what position, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's crazy because like even right now, like I'm like that's not my, like I'm not, like I'll be like a camera guy like for like gigs and stuff like that, but my position is a director, because the DP it's a bigger monster. It's not going around shooting with like a little camera and doing this. It's like he's a leader of his pack. He has, and that's why I'm saying it's like the military. It's like he's in charge of that, and he has the whole crew where he gives out the orders. They go and this and that. So it's like, and everybody else is supporting the director, So it's so much. It's like so much pressure, but it's dope. And I think you got to be a leader, not a boss, because people want to have to like work with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They want to be like, and that I think. Being in all these positions, I respect every single position. Because they're so like the grips, which are the guys that do all the lighting. So the DP, the director of photography, is in charge of like all like the G&E, which is the electrical and just the lighting people,
Yes.
So he's in charge of them, and that job is tough. Like they're moving around crazy hot sandbags, the big metal in the sun. We were in the desert moving like hot metal, and it's like job. So they're like the grunts. If we're in the military, they're like the grunts. Like these guys, they'll do anything. There, you know what I'm saying? And it's like there's so many positions, and it's like
that's funny how you have like on set compared to the military, like the positions.
I'm telling you,
that I got my snipers over here.
You do, and I think like the camera crew, they're kind of on that department where they're like your special forces. They're like like I love being on camera because we could do whatever. We like excuse me, you guys can't go. We'll park in front of like we got camera in it, and it feels like that. We're like, here's the camera, guys. And it's like it's dope because that in the military it is like that. It's like, what, why can't he wear a hat? And it's like, dude, they're the guys,
Yeah,
and
he's got a bandana on. The other guy has like a buzz haircut.
So it's like
he's got dreadlocks.
That's how I feel like the camera crew is. They're the guys. They got the cool cameras. Hey, move out of the way, cameras coming through. So it's dope, and I love being on camera. If I'm not directing, put me on camera. But so you have these guys, and that's kind of like the special forces guys. That feels like. Then you have your like officers in the military, but right here you have all like the producers. They're over here just fucking calling shots and this and
everybody
that.
Comes to them asking questions.
Yeah. So you have those guys, and it's like the military. Like every position's like the military. But man, a director is just it's putting out the vision and having everybody como se dice, like support you, it's something you said that caught my attention. You said, I want to be a leader, not a boss. And the difference between the leader and the boss is that when someone's a boss, people listen to you because of your position. Like he's the general manager at the store and I'm just an employee, or whatever. But when someone's a leader, you want to make them proud. You want to follow them. That's the difference. Like the boss, you have to. There's something I have to, and I want to. And then the thing is like, for sure. And I'm connecting with them, not just because it's like I'm connecting with them and we're on the same page. Everybody's on the same page, It's like, I get it. And it's like, man, it's better to be like, I feel like I'm one of them. I am one of them. I am one of them. I am one of them. And it's like, they got to have your back because a boss, like the crew could control what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like this big old production, and so many pieces
its
are
own
moving.
monster, bro.
And it's like you don't want to be a boss and go against the wrong people, because it's like you're gonna be going uphill, you know.
Yeah.
But like if you're like if you're a good leader and they're kind of following you, it's like we're moving together. It doesn't matter how hard it is. We're like proud to do this. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like I love it, you know. And it's the director is it's tough. It's like you all the pros and cons, you take everything, you know, and it's like so much information is coming in, you're making decisions, and it's dope, dude. It's a hard position, you know, but I love that. I wouldn't want to be in any other position, you know? Yeah,
I do have an important question for you when it comes to that position. Because for me, I think the director position, you're like the head creative person. So at the end of the day, you know, you're responsible for the final outcome of the project, the film or the commercial or the music video or whatever it is. So everybody's working with you to create essentially your vision. Yeah. Now, when it comes to film, does the director usually write the script or pick up the script? Who's the one that writes the actual film?
Well, you have the writers, you know, you have the writers.
Do directors also write sometimes, or is it rare?
No, you could be it's pretty common. A director could be a writer, for sure.
But you, as the director, you're the one that chooses that script.
Yeah, for sure.
Or is it somebody else comes to you and says, "Hey, I have this script. Do you want to direct it?"
Well, that's how it is. Yeah, they'll come at you and ask you.
So there's a writer that comes to the director with a script in hand and says, "Hey, I think you would be a great director for this."
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Now, as well, the director, you're in charge of pretty much employing the cinematographer, the set designer, the wardrobe designer, the casting director, and the actors, or does somebody else take charge of that?
I think more of you do have a say-so. But I think the producer is taking that weight off of you and setting you, which for me, it's Jeff. You know, Jeff is like my producer.
So the producer would be the one that hires the actors.
He's the one hiring, doing the paperwork.
Yeah.
He'll bring them up to me. Like, so he's setting everything up for me, because for me, I'm kind of like dealing with the actors, you know, like in pre-production, I'm kind of dealing with the actors. I'm breaking down the script of like seeing how that's going to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm stuck on here, and Jeff's handling the whole production side, which is getting the crew. Yeah. You know, getting the right people, getting the actors doing all the casting, getting them and presenting them like, all right, this is what we have, you know?
So when it comes to hiring actors, because we have a lot of people that are aspiring actors, they want to be, you know, picked for these roles, whether it's a film or a music video or a commercial, because they want to grow their business as well. What are some key indicators that you look for when it comes to hiring your team, your production team, and your actors?
I think for actors, for me, it's just like I gotta see them in the role, their vibe, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, as an actor, it's more like it's really just a feeling for me where it's just like, oh man, you know, like I shot a feature film that it's called Horchata with Oat Milk, and we're going through this whole process, and I had a whole set, which is my goons, right? My goons, it was 3 guys, and I was set, and I was just like, all right, cool, these are it. And they send in another audition tape, and I was just like, oh no.
What? It was better?
It was just like, oh, that's it.
This is perfect.
This is and it wasn't even like what I had in mind. You know, I had cholos, bald heads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, there's something, they have to have that it factor. And I was just like, whoa. And I ended up switching the whole thing. And it was you just got to go with your gut feeling. And to this day, I'm just like, oh, that was the right choice. It's like we created this thing, you know? But it wasn't like.
So it's fluid. It could change.
Yeah, I don't know for it is. Yeah, for sure. I don't know how it is for other people. But for me, it's like a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it might be the right one or the wrong one, you know?
Yeah.
But in this case, it happened to be the right one.
Now, as the director, do you have the final say, or do you have to connect with the producer?
Yeah, so that it depends, you know. You do have the executive producer, which they are the financiers. And,
okay.
You know,
that's
and so
important.
so they do have a say. It depends, you know. Some people don't, and some people do. For the Horchata with Oat Milk, the executive producer is very hands-on. He's a creative himself.
Who was the executive producer for that?
His name is John. He's actually the creator and founder of The Watch.
Oh, okay.
Not Johnny Murillo, but Johnny Sanchez.
Okay.
So
cool.
he's my friend, and it's crazy. I met him around the same time I met Jeff. You know, like the same exact time.
That's
and
funny.
they've been my boys, and
your ride or dies.
Both of them, yeah. And it's crazy. I met him at the same time, and then I just connected it, and we did a movie. But
that's cool.
So he's for me, I think he has a big say. So it's more of a collaborative with him, you know, because he's a creative there, and there's different times. Some people are just the money and they don't even, they just, you know,
they give you the control.
Yeah. And that was tough too for me at one point, because I'm just like, from going to music videos and being like the guy and making the decisions, it was tough to kind of like let somebody else in that. But it's like, once I let go and was just like, okay, let me just not stop trying to fight it, you know, stop trying to fight it. Good things happen out of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's dope, dude. But it is so many like fights and wars. But what I told him too, it's just like, it's crazy because we're just fighting to make it better. Yeah. We're not fighting because it's like, you know, we're fighting to make it better, and that's dope.
It's not an ego thing. It's a creativity
It
thing.
is. Yeah. And it's different.
It's a vision thing.
It's a vision thing too. Yeah. And it's like, and for the horchata with oat milk, it was his vision, you know, like, cause I'm more into like, I came to LA to tell these I came to LA to tell these like story about teenagers in these environments and their dramas, and like I want to show you what I experienced and this and that. Yeah. And he was just kind of like, let's do something lighter. Let's do something funny.
So this was a comedy.
It's a comedy. It's comedy.
You're more into drama.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm like I said, like back in the day, we're either laughing or it's dangerous. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's like, so it's clowning. It fits in perfect. And he had that vision, you know? Yeah. So it's Johnny, me, and Soso. We're the creators of horchata with oat milk. We've been there.
And then Johnny Murillo wrote that one, right?
Yeah. So Johnny Murillo, he was there for the writing session. He was our writer. Yeah. We were giving him like the whole points, and he was kind of just locking it in. Yeah. He built the structure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to go in there and write the structure. So we're kind of, we had something like this, the round table. Yeah. We're at my house kind of, going over the characters and that. And he was a writer, but we also were just like, all right, it's going to be this way. And yeah, he was the writer, but I wouldn't even call one writer, because it's like somebody said this, or like they put that in there, and it was a whole collective.
Was this your first feature film?
This was my first feature film. Yeah. It's
how long is it?
I think it's 110, like an
110?
hour. Yeah.
Okay.
So it just got across. Boom, we made it as a feature, you know?
Okay. To put together a feature film, typically with the production that you kind of had, how much financing do you typically need for something like that?
It's a lot. I think
because obviously you have to pay everybody we just talked about. The cinematographer, the set designer, the wardrobe, the casting director, the actors. Then you have to pay for the sets, or whether
you got to pay for the food,
location, the food. Like
I mean, it's a lot of up stuff. There. It started at 50, and we're way over that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And that's like paying the homies like you know, they're giving me like, you know, the homie discount. You know, like I pulled out all my favors because I was always,
on, bro, I'll do it for like $100 in a case.
And that's the thing. And they're professionals. They do this, you know, like they make a living off this stuff too. And I feel like I cashed in a bunch of like favors, you know, because I was always like I said, I came over here to help, and I was always helping. And finally they were just like, oh,
it's time to return the favor.
They saw me grow, you know, they saw me grow.
They wanted to help you.
Everyone on set, I've been on set as a little guy, and they're like, man, this guy's here. So they were like, you know, they were just happy to help me, you know. And they hooked me up, but we're just like, let's feed them good, feed them good. And that's, like I said, I've been the guy, the camera guy, you know, or whatever, the crew member, and is like, feed us good, and we're like, we'll rock with you, you know?
Yeah. So you said it costs about $50,000.
That's where we started.
And now it's over that. Where does the financing usually come from? Is there like one person that wants to invest in this film, or is there a company or a group of people? How does it usually work?
Usually they find a financer, like a big production, and they usually get you're gonna want to do a movie, I don't know, for maybe like 200, like, you know, big independent people. But this was just like the homie. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even at that. We're going, you know what I'm saying? Those big
like not even like 100,000.
Yeah, like they say like $1 million production. That's like low budget. So we were like mini micro. You know what I'm saying? But this was my homie doing it. Yeah. You know, and that's a lot for the homie. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a production. You know. Yeah. He just like he just betted on me, you know, like I've just how I would intern with Jeff. I would also go with John and help out with the studio and this and that, you know, just to help out. I was never like, hey, help me out or nothing. I was just there to help. Like, what can I do? you know, and he saw that in just one day. It was during the COVID.
Yeah.
We both ended up getting COVID, and I was right there all dying, you know. I was dying, and I just I was really sick actually, but I would just text him, you know, because at the time I was working with him, doing all the content, working on the app. And I was just like, hey, bro, we need to make some like sleeping money, you know, this and that. And then he's all like, let's make a movie. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, let's make a movie. And I was like, all right. So I hit up Jeff, you know, it was January 1st of like 2 years ago, you know, it's been a while.
2021?
Yeah, something like that. But I ended up hitting Jeff and was like, yo, we're like, let's do a movie. And we had our first like production meeting and kind of going over the concept, you know.
Who was in that first meeting?
Who was in that first meeting? It was me, Jeff, Soso. Yeah, it was us four, me, Jeff, Soso, and John.
Oh, okay.
I remember we were trying to do a little baby distancing outside the thing.
Get the little mask on.
We didn't do the mask, but we were just like, all right, cool. It was them, and it's just like, all right, cool. What are we doing, and what's the budget? Where are we starting at? And that was the first meeting, and we started moving fast. All right, cool. We're doing a movie January 1st. We done a production meeting. All right, cool. Let's write our bullet points of the script. Then we ended up getting Johnny.
Yeah. After
these bullet points, Johnny kind of did a rough. We're reading that, kind of we're making our changes and that. Now we're like, okay, let's what are the actors, you know, who are we gonna cast, you know? I remember we had Frankie Quinones. That's the first person that we send out the script to. Yeah. He's on This Fool. He's like the head of This Fool. Dope, hilarious guy. So he was we had hit him up at the time, but he was really about like, I'm not coming out because of the COVID. He was like really like
super safe.
Yeah. So it was like, well, we are. So I remember watching Hoodstocks, shout out to Hoodstocks, a podcast, Lucky, and he had Jerry Garcia on that.
He was like one of my first guests on my podcast as well.
Jerry Garcia's the homie. He's dope, dude. So I seen Jerry, and I was like, man, I seen him. He was dope, and just like he just felt like us, you know. He felt like my cousin, my primo, just like, hey, fool.
The way he talks is funny.
It's dope. It was just like so authentic. It was dope, you know. So I was just like, oh, cool. And then I look at his
Instagram.
No. His on Netflix. He's on Netflix.
Yeah, his special.
On his special. He was on Entre Nos, and I was like, dude, this guy's hilarious. This fool's next up. He's like, he's our George Lopez. They are. Right now, I think everybody on the movie is the next. Yeah. They're the ones getting the torch, you know? So we're like championing them. Yeah. So I ended up, we're doing a podcast at the time ourselves, you know? Ended up bringing them, but we're just like, okay, how are we going to pitch this to him, you know? So we ended up having the podcast. He's cool. We're vibing this and that. And we're like, so what do you see yourself doing this and that? He's all like, oh, I want to do films. And he's all like, oh,
perfect.
Yeah, you could see it. The thing I was like, oh, okay, cool. And like, what type? He's like, I want to be like a Smokey. And I was like, because we said we want to do like a Latino Friday. Oh,
so me and John, that was a position you already had.
Yeah. So me and John just kind of look at each other and we're just like, oh man, this is kind of
crazy.
Scary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like meant to be. You know?
Yeah, a little serendipity there.
Yeah, because everybody else, like, we knew we were going to tell him, you know? Like, but when he said, oh, I want to be like a Smokey and we're over here, let's do a Latino Friday. It's just like, oh, this is the guy.
Yeah. It was literally like it was meant to be.
If that's what it felt. I'm telling you, like in the podcast, you could just see like me
you guys look at John, each other like.
And it was just like, oh, Lord, like we're on the right track, right?
Right.
So we ended up telling him, he's like, let's do it. And he's like, you know, he was with it, you know? Yeah. So we have him. That's dope. He's dope. So we need our like a Craig, right? We need our Craig, you know? And we ended up seeing the little Duno. He has I don't know if you've seen the Toxica girlfriend that he went viral.
Yes. That was like the first little reel that he did that he kind of blew up over.
He took off, yeah.
I was even telling, was it Jeff? I think it was. I remember when he had like almost no followers, and then overnight it felt like he blew up.
Yeah, he took off. So it's just like, it was dope because he's like modern, of what's happening right now, you know. And it's like we wanted to do like Jerry's like the old cholo, like back stuck in the 90s, and he's like the new, the new. So it's just like I was like, oh yeah, this dude's dope. Blend. How are we gonna get a hold of him, you know? Yeah. So luckily everyone's like 2 moves away, you know. It's always like boom, boom, boom.
Someone knows someone that knows him.
Too easy, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So we hit him up, and like Jay Bless, he connected us with him. Yeah. He's a rapper, dope. He connected us, and he was all about it. He was like, let's do it, this and that. He was super helpful. Yeah. We get him, right? So now we have him. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. That's dope. Okay, they're already fired. Yeah. And then we need a wild character. Yeah. And Concrete. This dude is, Concrete. You know, he's hilarious. You know, and
his comedic timing is. is so perfect, you know, and he's such a physical comic.
He's physical,
like the way that he moves, his little gestures, like the tonality, it's like perfect, you know. To me, he's like damn, I can't believe I forgot the actor's name. Is a old school Mexican comedian. He's got the little mustache. What's his name?
Little mustache.
I used to watch it every single time because I used to have family in Juarez, and so we used to take the Greyhound all the way. Cantinflas. Yeah, okay. He has like a similar, like the way he like moves and stuff.
And I love it because he loves the camera. Yeah. He loves the camera. He's not scared to just go all out, just put it all out there, you know? Yeah. And it was dope because Jeff's connected with him. They hadn't worked in a while, but it's dope from the movie. I was just like, dude, it's concrete. Like he's dope, you know?
He's very talented as well. He's a great producer. He's a great actor. He's actually a great cinematographer as well.
He is a creative, multi-creative person. Dude, and it's crazy because when I was doing I'll get back to this, but when I was about to go to get out of the military and go to the film school. Yeah. I was going to go to the New York Film School. And I was just showing him love, you know, because I was following him. Like, he does videos too, and he's dope, dude. And he's dope, you know. I had reached out to him.
Is this when he was doing music videos?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, and he's still doing them. He's a killer. He's a grinder. He's dope, dude.
Yeah. He doesn't promote a lot of the videos that he does, but he's like doing major music videos.
Yeah. I think it's a branding, you know, like they already know that he does, so they'll connect them. He'll go through all the stuff, you know. But I think it's like right now he's just so on the actor stuff, which I think he's like, that's the lane, you know. Yeah. And the other ones is like his occupation, but this is his calling. Yeah. It's his calling, you know. Yeah. And so I had hit him up and just like, you're dope, this isn't that. And this is what I hit him up too, because the New York Film School had sent me like a little package of like going to the school, and I seen him as a teacher right there in the background. I was like, yeah,
he's a teacher.
Yeah, and I was just like, hey, bro, I just seen you as in this little film thing. He's like, oh, dope. I was told him I'm gonna go there, you know.
Oh, it's funny. What he came out in Fast and the Furious too.
Oh, in the background.
I saw the post today. I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, he has a dope little bit on that. But I had hit him up, and I was just like, hey, bro, I'm about to go to there. What do you think? This and that. He's like, bro, don't go. Don't waste your money. They're just taking people's money. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I teach, you know, I'm like a tutor, this and that. Yeah. And then he named a couple other schools, which were like bigger schools or whatever. But I told him about the LA Film School. He's like, I'd rather go there. So it's like he kind of like led me to that, which is dope, you know. But so we're going back to the horchata with oat milk. So we ended up, Jeff connected us, and he was just like, yeah, Jeff, bro, you're dope. Like, yeah, I mean, they're already homies. They know each other. They just had been, they hadn't connected in a while, and that reconnected him. And he was with it, whatever you need. And we got the plug through Jeff. And now we're like, boom, now we're building this little team, you know? Yeah. And where it's like, oh, this is dope, you know? And then, like I said, what's his name too? He's on, what is it about? Flaming Hot movie.
The main actor?
No, not the main actor. Fabian Alomar.
Oh, okay.
Fabian Alomar was one of our goons, which I want to work with him so bad. He's so dope, dude. Yeah. And he was going to be one of our goons, but I ended up switching it up at the end, but I definitely want to work with them. But he was on our board. There's a couple people on our board, and like, you know, now we're in full production. We have like pictures of these people, put that person with this person, and it's just like,
it's like the old school mob.
Straight up, yeah. Like, oh, that's exactly it. How do they look? This and that. Now it's like, let's start doing like Zoom meetings, and then let's bring them all together. And it's like, it's coming together. Now we're in full production from, you know, as soon as that January 1st, we're like cooking now. Like, let's bring them in. And that's the thing with John. It's like, let's do it now. Like, you know, let's do it now, which is dope, you know. The gift and the curse. But so now we're building this team, and it's just like, now we get them in the room. Now it's like we're vibing. I'm with all these comedians, and they're like hungry to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hungry to do their thing. And it's like, now we have the script, and we have the script, so and this bullet points. Yeah, but it's like, that's what I was telling them. It's just like, I want to give them the pockets so they could do them. You know, that's all I was telling them. Like, I don't care about like the words. Yeah. I care about like the message and what you're saying, and get us there, you know?
What's the word that's used when there is no ad libs? Is that what it's called?
Improv. Yeah.
So you give them like kind of a bullet point of what the concept is, and then you kind of let them flow through their own acting abilities.
Yeah. And that's kind of, but it's like that was also the gift and the curse, because we got so much like greatness. We got like their spirit, you know, we got like concrete do concrete, you know what I'm saying? We got these pockets, and it was crazy. But the continuity, you know, like from cutting, it's like if we had multiple cameras, which would have been better in that style of improv, would have helped out. But in the editing, that ended up killing me at the end, because there was so much improv. that it was like, oh, well, we can't do this. You know what I'm saying?
You got to cut out a lot of different
it's tough,
great stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard part when you're like, man, like this is so great, but it doesn't fit, like you said, the continuity or the concept or the vision, but it's so great, you know? That's why I like those, like back in the day, used to put out like the extended videos with like the BTS stuff. I was talking with Jeff about that. That's what got him into film, was when like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out and had like the behind the scenes and extended version. And I really like BTS content when it comes to major productions, because you get to see things that most people don't. And for creatives, you know, I think that's something that they want to be a part of and understand.
Yeah. Like I told you, that the BTS video of Jeff changed my life. Yeah. I was just like, oh, it's just like, wow, there's jobs. I didn't even do that. And I started doing that, and just like kind of like if you look through my Instagram or whatever, I haven't really posted too much, but since I got here, I was posting everything. I was posting my journey. You could see my growth, my journey, and everything all in Instagram. It's, you know, it's all there. And it's like, I'm trying to show the young me that, you know, like somebody from National City is doing this, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to show them that, because it's like, oh, wow, somebody's going to see it and be like, oh, wow, there's jobs. Cause I was like I tell you, I was horrible grades, like all that, you know, but it's like, I have talent.
Human trafficking.
But it was just like, you know, like I was in that world, but if you see it, you're like, oh, it sparks something, you know? Yeah, man. So yeah, the BTS videos, definitely, and I need to start doing more of those, because
that's kind of my specialty. I do a lot of BTS content for pretty much everybody, MMA fighters, for bands, for, you know, I actually did all the BTS stuff for Los Tóxicos tour when they were out here. They had the one in the Farallon, and the other one was at the Yost Theater. So I did like their little BTS stuff and all of their pictures and all of that stuff. And then same thing when I went with Jeff. He shot a major music video. I can't say who that is because the music video hasn't dropped, but I did a lot of BTS pictures and videos. And I think that's something that I personally enjoy doing, is kind of documenting that process, but I want to do it in a cinematic and in a way that it puts out the emotion of the production, you know, because everybody has their own vibe, has their own style, you know, every director, every cinematographer, every actor, they have their way of being, and sometimes it's difficult to show that unless you have that creative side to you, you know, so that's why I like to learn from people like you, because I want to do that in whatever I do. For sure. Yeah, it's dope. And like, that's all I was saying with the continuity, it was like, we're going to have a crazy behind the scenes, because I had the homies like, yo, we got to record all this, because to me, it was like, we're doing something. It felt like we're doing something special. It was just like, I remember one day, like Concrete goes on saying, he's like, bro, are we like making history right now? And that's what it felt like, because it was so much fun. Like, and a lot of people that roll up on set, they're like, dude, we haven't been on a set. We've been on, this is our industry, we work, but the set feels different. Because it was all the homies, and it was fun, and we're letting them do their thing. And it was dope. We treated them like stars with little freaking vans picking up. We treated them like who they are, you know? And you know what I'm saying? So it was dope. But there's going to be a lot of like a lot of deleted scenes and all that stuff, because they're hilarious. It's like hilarious, but it doesn't work because, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had a Frankenstein, the movie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of what we did, because we're making stuff that wasn't even there to tell like a whole story, you know? Yeah, man, I'm super excited to watch the film. When is it going to be coming out? It's right now, we just finished up. We picture locked. It's going into sound and color. So I'd say at the end of the year. So I'm excited about it, because it's been a war. It's been such a journey, and I'm glad we're almost close to the end. But I could tell you that I've experienced every single experience a human could feel. I was excited. I was scared. It broke me out once. It's just like everything, you know? And it's just like, it's dope. And like, I'm proud of like going through the ringer, you know, like I've done it. Like I'm doing the edit, you know, I'm doing the edit, and it's like way different from doing like something small of a music video. This is a like monster that you're dealing with, you know? And it's crazy, but I'm so proud of the team, and like, me, John, and Soso, of like being like, we could have put it out already. But for me, it wasn't just about putting out a thing. It's about putting out something dope that we're proud of. It's not about just putting it out, you know, which we could have. But for me, it's like, I'm trying to make it the best for them. And just like, it needs to be right. And where I'm at the point where it's just like, oh, I think we're there. You know, I think we're there. just the amount of followers and the amount of support that the actors and the production team has, I think it's going to be a very successful film. I mean, like just a combination of Jerry, Duno, and Concrete, you got probably about like 5 to 10 million followers right there.
Yeah.
And if just a percentage of those people go watch this film, you know, it's going to be pretty successful. Now, when it comes to the finances and you know, the profits, where does the actual money come from? Does like a Netflix pick it up and they pay you a flat fee?
It comes from under the bed.
Oh, shoot.
Just kidding.
You still got that little roll?
It's a little
it again.
A bunch of little rolls. Now, just kidding.
Or does like or do you just put it out for sale somewhere? Like how does someone that wants to be successful as a director or a filmmaker make it to where it's profitable? Because at the end of the day, you know, like you could be as passionate about something, but if you're not making enough income to make a living, it's very difficult to continue it. Like I said, I was a musician and I still play, but at one point I was like, shit, I ain't making no money. I'm wasting money, you know, buying all the gear and traveling. Like, so I had to make that fork in the road. Like, do I want to continue down this path or do I want to do something different?
Right.
And I think people that have passion for this, it's good information to know. How do you make some project like this successful, and where does the actual revenue come from?
Yeah. So a lot of people, they need a distributor, you know, so it's like a Netflix or something. They're going to pay you like 50,000 or something to like lease it for a couple of years or something like that. Yeah. And it's cool. You're on Netflix or you're on this, you're on that. But for me, it's like, I'm very like on the independent vibe. I rather like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're on Netflix, but if they're going to pay us 50,000 when we paid 50,000 and spent 2 years, it doesn't make sense, you know? And the thing is, people are going to see it. You're going to see this, especially with Concrete and all these people, they're going to watch it. So we're trying to go direct to consumer unless somebody comes right. But I want to go direct to consumer because it's like we're in the time where we could connect directly towards them, you know? Yes. So it's like, it is cool to be on these things. I have homies on HBO, homies on this, but it's like, it's just like, cool, I'm on here. Yeah. I'm like, I've been cool for a long time, you know, it's like.
And I think also for where you guys are at with this particular film, it makes sense to go the, you know, direct to consumer. Now, is it usually a platform where like you'll put it on YouTube and charge a flat fee, or do you put it on a different website, or how do you get it out to the public? Do you stream it somewhere? Do they buy, how do you put it out? So
right now we're still trying to figure out those details. We've been in the talks with different stuff. We have connections with other people, so we're definitely going to talk to everybody. But for me right now, as the director, I'm like more worried about getting the product. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's asking me where we're going to see it, where this, and it's like we'll get there when we get there. Well, the people are there and the avenues are there, but I'm trying to build the product, so it's like, here it is. Because it doesn't matter if you have it on a Netflix or on Tubi and it's weak or whatever the case may be. But I'm focusing on making the right product. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I definitely want to be direct to consumer because we have control of the whole thing. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know where it's going to go, but I want to go direct to consumer. Okay. And it's going to be dope. I think it's going to be a wildfire. It's going to be,
it's going to be an awesome.
Everybody that's on there, I'm telling you, it's like the next up. I mean, they're in their zone right now. They're just heating up. Yeah. They're the next George Lopez. They're like, and it's crazy. We got like, we were all on the same, you know, we're all on the same vibe.
Trajectory at the same time.
And I'm telling you, you could feel the energy of these greats, you know?
Even with Johnny Murillo, he's got his whole platform with Chicano Hollywood. I've been really backing what he's doing as well. I'm actually going to be on at Saturday at his event.
The producer, the
producers meeting or luncheon or seminar. I'm not sure. I forgot what it was called. But I'll be there, and I think it's a perfect time for our people to tell our stories. You know, you got your Steven Tyler, you know, or what is his name?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Steven Tyler's like the Aerosmith singer and shit. Tyler Perry has like his culture, and he produces and directs all the film to tell their stories. I think we need ours. You know?
And I think what Johnny is doing is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, it's crazy because that whole Chicano Hollywood started from horchata.
Yeah, I know he brought that up.
It's so crazy, and I salute to him because he hasn't stopped from that day on, and it's been growing, and he's building a dope little structure.
Yeah,
you know,
he's got a good platform.
Yeah, it's dope. You know, so Yeah, that was crazy how that happened.
Yeah.
We were at my house. We were at my house writing, and we're just like laughing this and that. And I was smoking or whatever.
Yeah.
I was smoking, and we have like kind of heavy up here.
Yeah, he mentioned this exact moment on the podcast.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was dope. So I'm like standing up. We have all them. He's on the computer. Have Jeff over there. This and that. I'm looking at the screen, and I'm kind of like acting as a character, smoking and just like.
He said he made you do it like 20 times.
At one point, I was like, "Chill, dude. Like, you know,
I'm ready."
Yeah, I was like, "All right." He's like, "No, that was Chicano Hollywood." No, he was kind of like, "This is Chicano Hollywood. Like, what's happening right here?"
Yeah,
you know. And he just took off with it, and what he's doing, like his persistence is awesome. You know, salute to Johnny and the whole camp. I think his daughter's a little killer. She's dope. She's a vibe, and what she's doing with the Chicano music is dope. You know, so salute to them. And I think this is our time for the Latinos. You know,
definitely.
You know, it's like we're having it's happening. You know, we're such a big we're like more than 20% of the population over like, you know, like 80 million people out here. You know, we're like we're taking off,
and we're making waves in the entertainment industry. You know, music industry. You know, we're winning Grammys. We are winning awards. We're finally getting recognition. I put this out the other day as like from our culture, we are so accustomed to just working and giving and putting in work, and it's our time to reap the rewards of our labor. You know?
And that's the thing. That's why for me, independency and like ownership is so important, because you go and you put like, I'm telling you, I've gone through everything just to be like, here you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's like, you got to have ownership, you know what I'm saying? They can't just take the culture and be like, boom, like we did that.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's our thing.
Yeah, it's our thing. And it's like, we tell it how we want, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not watering it down. We're letting concrete be concrete. We're like, it's authentic to us, you know? It's like, and we're in such a great time, because there's no, like back in the day where you got to go into a studio because you can't even afford the cameras just with any, like it's time. Like the only thing holding us back is us. Like we have all the tools and everybody, you know? So it's just like, it's such a great position that we're in right now. And it's like, we're doing it. Everyone's moving together, you know? And even like, I'm excited about what the future is, you know? Like I'm excited that I came up with these people. You see those people from, what is it, SNL, and you see all these like, oh, dang,
like, Jim Carrey came up with Chris Rock, and within, now they're like, boom.
And I think that's what horchata with oat milk is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We're
just like, what positive, the hell? Everybody was on there.
Years from now, you're going to have, you know, Jim Carrey's going to be, you know, concrete, you know?
100%. Like, this is like, I feel it like, I you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's not even, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. Everyone's like, they got it. It's like, that's why it's like, we got to like, show them, you know what I'm saying? They're the guys, we got to support them and show them and support everything they do.
Yeah.
What's his name? Which was awesome, dude. Jesus Sepulveda.
Oh yeah.
He came in here he came in one of the scenes that we needed him, and this guy killed it.
He's hilarious.
Hilarious. His HBO special is it's like, I'm just so blessed that I got to work with them, and they were like so like they were professionals, and it was like it was the real deal. It was like, I've been on all these sets. I'm big on multi-million-dollar sets, and that's what this felt like. It felt like the vibe, because everybody's on that cadence, everybody's on that thing. It didn't feel like a little thing. We did it right. We treated them right. We fed them. We freaking brought them in shuttles. It was dope. And like
craft services and everything.
I'm telling you, they were like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, for me, like being on all these sets, they'll put chips on the floor. Like we treated them right, you know, because they treated us right, and they believed in me, you know what I'm saying? And they were supporting me, and they were like so with it, you know? I could have done this, you know, forever. It give me, you know, I work 6 days, rest one, let's go back. It was so much fun. The shooting part was the fun part. The editing, that's where it's like, whoa. That was a whole nother monster. You know, that was like pressure that I've never felt before. My homie just invested.
Were you the main editor?
I had one of my boys did he did the beginning, like just the assembly. And then I went in there and edited,
cut everything
and
else
started. I started doing some of the edit. We also had other hands touch it, but I was like the primary. It'd always come to me, and kind of we would always. But it's been. I'm excited just to be, like I'm telling you, like part of this whole thing that's happening.
Yeah, you can feel the energy. You can feel there's going to be something big, and I'm really excited to see the film come out. Whatever avenue comes out, I'm watching it. I'm going to help you guys promote it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Are you guys planning on having a what's it called? A release?
We're gonna have a premiere, and we're gonna go nuts.
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
We'll invite you. It's gonna be dope, dude. Because it's like the people, it's gonna be. We're gonna make that an event, and we're excited to do that.
Nice.
Even on the music side, we're putting a bunch of people that are cracking right now in the music side. You know.
Yeah.
So that's dope. That's horchata with omic. I don't know if we could talk about Addicted to You, because that's something that I don't want to like pass that up. That's such a big experience for me too, that I want to talk about those actors.
Yeah, so Addicted to You was the short film that actually won the awards. Tell us a little bit about that journey and all the supporting actors and people that went into that production.
Yeah, that was such a crazy experience how it all happened, you know. I ended up I was watching Netflix. I was watching Netflix and I seen this little cover. It was Slipping, and it was about homies. And like I said, I like gangster stuff, you know. So I was like, well, let me click on this. Yeah. And it was dope. It was super dope. And I was like, damn, who did this? Like, that's the stuff that I want to do. Who are they?
Yeah.
They are dope, you know? So I ended up doing my little research, IMDb's, finding out these people. And it's like, oh, some Mexican cats, which was Davey Manzanales and Alex Figueroa. And they were like Ferefino. And they had done it, and I'm doing my research, and I'm like, oh, dang, Davey was also in the military. That's my dog, you know? So it's just like, I'm just like happy
clicking
that they're doing it. Yeah, because it's like, they're dope, dude. That's exactly what I want to do, you know? Yeah. So we ended up going to, it was a Chicano Hollywood networking event.
Oh, nice.
You know, so we're there, and I see them pulling up. They don't know me or nothing, but I've seen them because I'm
were.
doing all this research as they're coming. I'm just
That's
like,
funny.
I just want to give them their flowers because that's what I want to do. They're freaking dope. They're on HBO. Yeah. That's like, for me, that's the promised land, you know? So I'm just like, you guys killed it. Like, that was dope, dude. Whatever I could do to help, like, let me know. That was awesome, you know? Yeah. I have a space in North Hollywood. If you guys ever need a space, whatever, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And Davey hit me up, was just like one of the days, like, hey, bro, I appreciate it. We want to do some table reads. Yeah. We want to do some table reads. If you could, yes, of course, come, like, do your thing, 100%. I'm just like supporting you, you know? And it was funny because, como se dice, John from Horchata with Oat Milk, I was like, fool, these fools are fire, bro. They're dope. They're just like us. They're, you know what I'm saying? They're homies. They're sick. And he's like, the competition. And I was like, nah, bro. Like, these are allies. Yeah. They're allies. You know, we need to stick together.
We're some of the same gang, bro.
Yeah, they're just like us. I mean, it feels like, they feel like my brothers. Like, they feel like the people from back from San Diego. They're the homies. They're like, we connected instantly, you know? So we end up giving the space, and they're doing the round tables. They're reading Addicted to You. Yeah. Sonia's there. They're doing the whole thing. Every department's introducing themselves, the writer, this and that. And they get to me, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm just here to help. Like, just, you know, like
who's this guy?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, because I was just like, come in, and, you know.
So you weren't the director at the time?
No, I wasn't the director. So it's just
Did they have one?
Alex.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Alex, he was the director, you know. So they've been working out on the script. They've been going through it. They did some rehearsals and all that good stuff, you know. And some scheduling issues happened. Mm-hmm. They didn't know what they were gonna do. It was funny, but even before I knew I was gonna get the directing part. Yeah. They ended up getting Crucito from Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it's crazy because we have him on the they call, he's on the speaker, he read the script, he's I work with him.
Which role was he gonna play?
He's the dad.
Oh, he is the dad. I just realized. I was like, he looks so familiar.
He's the dad.
Okay.
And it's crazy because even like at film school, they're like, well, what's your favorite movies? Everyone's like freaking Citizen Kane.
You're like Blood In, Blood Out, American Me.
Blood In, Blood Out, American Me. And Black Hawk Down. That's, you know what I'm saying? Those are like, that's what I like.
Gangster and military.
I didn't watch a lot of movies. I was on the street living little movie scenes, you know? So I was just there to help. Like, literally, I'm just trying to help. Like, whatever I could do to help, I have assets. Yeah. Use them. Here it is, you know? Yeah. And they were doing their thing. And like I said, scheduling reasons happened. And we already had built a relationship with Davey and Four Ways, Alex and them. We ended up getting a little compound for, like, it's a collective. Yeah. We have hella Black Mexican in there. We have a casting in there. Nice. From the streets to the set. So we're just like a little collective of creator Latinos, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a collective, like a creative collective, you know? So we have a space right there in Toluca Lake. So we're doing that. They're going to the things. And then Alex and Davey were just like, hey, bro. They're just like, we need someone to come in to direct, and like, we believe in you. Like, I think you're the guy. Like, if you're up for it, like, it's already all set up. We're going to support you. It's just scheduling reasons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you help us out with this? Yeah. And I was just like, yeah. No, I mean, I was just like, that's a big thing, you know, because they have such a brand, and like they're like killers, you know, like in broad daylight, like everything they touch is just like fire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was
you felt the pressure.
Yeah. But I was like, I was also excited that they were even like saw me in that thing because they're putting their brand on it. They're putting their logo, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, damn.
What's the name of their company?
4 Ways.
4 Ways, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that was just like, all right, cool, man. Well, I'm down. If you guys think I'm the guy, let's do it, you know? They already had the script. They already had done some rehearsals. And then, so bam, let's do it. We connected. I connected with Sonia.
Yeah. Did they already have, Jeff is a cinematographer, right?
Yeah.
Did they already have him on board, or did you?
Yeah, we were on board. I was on board. We were all helping, you know,
Oh,
like
okay.
we're already, I was going to be probably assistant director.
I
Like
see.
it was our project. He was just, you know, so it was just like an easy, like, boom. And that's the
Yeah.
thing with us. It's like, their positions, and we have multiple directors, like, you know, so it's like we have multiple like cinematographers, so it's like their positions,
because like you guys know how to do it all.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's like the military, their positions, you could just bam put somebody else, you know what I'm saying? It's just so it worked out perfect.
That's
you know,
awesome.
And the Alex and Davey, they produced it. They were the ones like that handled the whole like getting you the actors, getting the contract, doing the whole, you know, so they're part of it. I mean, it's under 4 Ways. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let me talk to Sonia, and let me talk to the guys, and let me start doing some rehearsals with them.
Yeah.
We look at the script. I'm like, all right, cool. Nothing's gonna change. Everything's the same. So everyone, don't worry. We're gonna, you know. Yeah. And day one, we get there and start changing all kinds of stuff.
Like, we gotta change this. We gotta change this. I'm gonna rip that up real quick.
But it was just like, you know what I'm saying? I just had to feel like, you know, I had to make it my own as well, or just like there's some stuff that I had to do, you know. But working with Sonia and Anthony, El Fernandez, you know, like he was also on horchata, so I ended up like suggesting, like, dude, you need Anthony. Trust me, he's such a professional. Yeah, he's the guy.
He did a great job.
Yeah, he's dope, you know. So it's like I ended up I already had worked with them, so we already had a relationship. It just working with him, he's like a true professional actor, and it's dope, you know. Yeah. So we're doing these rehearsals with Jeff, and like as you saw, it's almost like a one shot. Like that whole thing is just like a one shot. Yeah.
It's just from like the outside to the inside, and that's it.
So it was like this whole dance that we were just practicing, you know. And cool, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. So we had this whole dance, and it was more like a play, and we're gonna land here, land there, you know. And so we did that for a while, and it was dope. Sonia killed it. I think she won Best Actress. Yeah. And it's like she manifested that, like she killed it. She was such a professional, and she was so determined, you know, like it was gonna happen regardless. Yeah. And she gave me the respect of like taking like my notes and advice. Yeah. And if she had a question, she would kind of like, how about this? And then we'd talk about it. Yeah. And it was like it was such the group that was in there in these rehearsals were so like one, you know what I'm saying? With Jeff, Anthony, my girl, Ikrama. It was just like a whole little, it was dope, you know? Yeah. And she just did such a great job. She was so determined, you know? And
did you jump on the camera at any point?
Nah, see, that's the thing. I came from being a shooter. I like let them kill it. I'm just at this point now.
So at this point, you're like straight director.
Straight director. Like, what's the character going through? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, my team is solid. You know, it's like they're handling their stuff, and it's so in depth of what they got to handle. I got to handle my position. Right. And I trust everybody that they're going to handle theirs. So I'm not even looking at that. Yeah. I'm just like, now my position is to connect with these characters to get the point across, you know? Right. And it was dope. Like, it was funny because I did this thing with Sonia, which was dope, and I'm glad that I'm finally getting to talk about it. But in the story, her man Danny, he's been gone for like a week. Oh, she's been trying to get a hold of him. She don't know. He doesn't know where he's at. Like, she's worried. She's all in that stage, you know. And we had done so many rehearsals that I knew she had the lines. She had she had the vibe and the thing, you know. Yeah. And a couple of days before, I'm just like, dude, we got to do more rehearsals. It's game time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's happening tomorrow. Happening tomorrow or happening the next day. So let's get our last rehearsals so we're well prepared. You know, like let's do this, right? So I set up a couple rehearsals, and I tell Anthony, like, hey, bro, stop answering her. Like, do not talk to her.
Make it feel like
stop. Like, just whatever she's gonna, you know.
Text you, don't respond.
So for like 2 days, she's hitting him up. Hey, I don't know where he's at. Like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, I work with him. Like, you know, like, let me, I'm pretty sure, like, let's figure it out. Like, he's cool. Let's just kind of keep going through our thing. But I only did that because I knew it could have gone good or bad. You know what I'm saying? But she was so determined that I knew she could handle it. Yeah. And I think that's what pushed her over over the edge, you know?
Yeah, you could feel the emotion,
dude,
and every little word that she said, every movement. So it was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it was, I wouldn't call it forced, but it was like, a method acting, but not from her. Like you made her method actor.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's like the day of, it's like such a big day. She put like a big investment in it. Like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and in the story, it's a big deal. That guy had to be there as a padrino.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And he just embarrassed her in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And that day was happening like that. Like, where is it? She got another actor just in case he didn't show up.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what.
So she had the true emotion behind it.
Yeah. And that's why I told her, check this out. Stop worrying about the lines. We went over it. Right now, like, let's think about Danny, the character, and how he's made you feel in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking about it. And today you're going to break that chain and let go. I don't care about the lines. Stop with the lines. I don't care. You know the lines. We've gone through it.
Yeah.
It's like muscle memory. It's like a boxer. You're training. Now you're just reacting.
Yeah.
So stop.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you coming out here and talking to everybody and like, you stay in this room and think about, is he in the hospital right now?
Yeah.
Where is he at? Is he cheating? Where is he at?
Yeah.
Like, don't even think about the lines, please.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and she like did that.
Yeah.
She fell into this character and she was so like stressed and like it was heavy because she experienced something like that, like in her relationship. So it sucks because she had to relive
those feelings,
emotions. And we got to see her reliving those feelings, and we caught that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Perfectly, by the way.
We caught it. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff just beautiful, you know? So we caught those moments, and it's like, I knew she was going to do it. I knew she could handle it.
Yeah.
Cause she was just it was such a big thing for her. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it worked out perfect. So it's just like, she listened, she like took my advice.
Yeah.
And she rolled with it. She really didn't, like, she reacted to everything. Like the first time she sees them in the kitchen is the first time she's seen them in 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, so she's just like, you know.
So that actual scene was the first time she saw her in 3 days, and him responding to her.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you guys did it really good then.
And it was crazy.
So she could have been expecting somebody else.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. But it's crazy too, because it's like now when I'm with the actors,
you can see the disdain in her face.
She's like, oh,
like motherfucker.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because like I'm talking to, like, I want to talk to these actors and I just want to hear them, like, their experience. Like, you know, like the more they talk, the more I get information, you know? And this one night she was telling me, she's like, it's crazy because I could still like smell like the alcohol in him.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it, you know, even though that was like his addiction and he was an alcoholic, I could still smell the alcohol, you know? That
comes from the line of the name of the movie, right? Addicted to You.
Addicted to You. Yeah. And it's crazy because there's this moment that happens in the movie, you know, where he kind of just like rushes her, takes her out of her space, and she's just like pushes him, like, get the fuck off me. Yeah. And then like she's right in front of him, and you see her just like smell him. Yeah. And she's just like, that just happened out of nowhere. Like, because I went to go tell the guys, the crew, hey, go get this food some beer, so she could smell it. Yeah. And she caught it perfect. And that was not rehearsed. Yeah. That was like just happening, you know? Yeah. And even the blocking.
That was actually one of my favorite parts of the film, was that moment where he kind of snapped and grabbed her and pulled her, and I don't want to give out the line that he said,
but
because I want you guys to watch it. It was my favorite moment,
and it was dope because we were running it, and like I'm telling you, we had done this over and over and over in these places. Like, you got to be here, and then you got to be here, and you got to be here, right? Yeah. So on the take that we had, I get Anthony, and I'm like, come here, bro. And I was like, you need to take her out of that spot, bro. Yeah. You need to make her feel like, if you're lucky, you're not a fucking man right now. Like, put that fear in her. Like, you know, if you're a fucking man right now, you're talking to me like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's when he just took her out of her space. Yeah. And she didn't know that was going to happen. So the good thing about it is that now she's reacting. Yeah. She's not acting. She's reacting. Yeah. You know, but
it's very authentic.
And the good thing with them, they didn't break character. Yeah. So they were just like, they weren't worried about the thing. And that moment would just happened. And it's just like, it's great, dude.
Was that a one take?
Yeah, we did it multiple times. Yeah, we did it several times, over and over, but just one take. Like, it's always a one shot, but we kept.
So it was literally a one shot, the whole thing.
It was a one shot. That scene was a one shot.
Oh, okay.
So she killed it with that. And it's like, there's this part where it's like, like, I mean, I lived through these moments. Like, we all lived through these like toxic relationships, watching our parents. Like, my parents.
It's funny you say that, because there was moments in there where like it took me back to certain relationships that I've been. Also my childhood, you know, fights that my parents would go through. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think a lot of people have experienced some form of addiction in their family, whether it's, you know, alcohol or drugs or whatever it is. And even if it's not personally, you know someone that has. And like you can connect to these. And like these stories are, you know, a lot of people could connect to them.
A lot of people, and everybody that we show, like we started having those conversations, and we all live through that. It's like almost like everybody's living through that.
Yeah.
There's this one line where it's like, where she's telling them like, don't you think I want to go out and leave too? I want to leave too.
Yeah,
you know,
but
I can't.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, why do you get to go?
Yeah.
I want to go too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I've heard, like, it's just, it's felt so real. I was like, wow.
That was really, really captivating. Like I was just like locked in. And I think that's the beauty of a good film, is that it takes you away from the outside world and it puts you into that world. And it almost like puts like you're like almost in there, you know, like I'm in the room, like watching them fighting and shit. And I'm like, that's funny when people eat popcorn, you don't even know you're eating popcorn because you're so into it, you know? And that was the feeling that I got when I was watching.
It felt like we were peeking into this moment. Like it felt like, and I salute to Jeff.
And even there was a little scene that that really captured me. I mean, I don't know if most people will capture it, but it was that little part where he did it from the daughter's perspective of her closing the door, you know, because she's still hearing all this shit. And that's what it took me back to my childhood. Like, even when your parents fight and you go to your room, like you still hear them, you know, and you're like, and that stuff affects you.
And that's, I mean, that was the cycle that she broke in the story, because she lived with her grandpa being an alcoholic, her dad being an alcoholic. Yeah. She was in a relationship where she was in with an alcoholic, but she broke that chain. If she wouldn't have broke that chain in the movie, that little girl would have been doing the same thing. But now she broke the chain, and it's like, no, we're better than that, you know? Yeah. So she broke the generational, like, you know?
Breaking those generational curses, brother.
And then the last thing too, it was just like, she is also like an enabler and was addicted to him.
Yeah.
You know, there's that.
I got the concept.
Yeah. There's that other little moment where it's just like, you're addicted too, you know? So it's just like,
she said the line like, I'll always be there. Like, something along those lines. She's like, you know, I have your back.
I'll always. Like, no, why? Like, you know how guys are, but it was dope, bro. Salute to the whole team. And I'm proud that that's nice and packaged, and that people are getting recognized for that.
Where can people see that short film?
Right now, we're just doing the festival runs. Next thing, we're going to be in San Antonio for Crucito has his film festival. We're doing it there, and we're kind of doing the film festival run. And then I think she's going to find a distributor where you'll be able to watch it. So I think she has a couple options.
Plan on making it a full feature film?
There's definitely talks about that.
I can see it continuing. You know, it wouldn't end that. I mean, it could, but I can see that being a full feature
for sure. Yeah, after that, we're all on a high, and it's like, dude, that's you know. But there's
what's next?
like this, like, because we just saw a little moment.
Yeah.
But hopefully, but there's, I think it's good enough to show like an investor in the concept, like it's already there. Yeah. But like I'm telling you, to make films, it's not a cheap little thing, you know. Yeah. And you need a whole team, you know. Yeah. And it's like they need to be. So it's like I think it's good enough to show these investors like it's there, the story's there. So especially out here, there's a lot of people trying to get this, trying to get films, and the concept's already there. The actors are there. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Crucito, he was just like, dude, he was dope. Working with him was crazy. So it was dope, man.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm really grateful for having you on the show today. Yeah. I really want to thank you for sharing your story and sharing all of your insight that you've learned throughout your life. Mm-hmm. And I'm really looking forward to your career, seeing it grow. For people to find you, I'm sure you're always looking for investors to give you some money to make more films, and are looking to grow your own business. Where can people find you? Do you have a website?
Right now, I'm just on Instagram, directed by LV.
That's right.
And just IMDb, Christian Leyva, so you guys could check that out. But I'm active on the social media.
Awesome.
So
guys, make sure you follow Chris on Instagram. What was the handle again?
Directed by LV.
Directed by LV. Also, make sure you download the Watch app. That's Watch with an E. For all you artists out there that are looking for a professional studio to get your songs written, produced, recorded, engineered, all that great stuff at a very affordable price. It is the Airbnb of recording studios. Also, make sure you guys download the Chicano Hollywood app. Dreams to Reality is actually going to be having a series on there as well. If you're in the LA area this Saturday, Friday, which is what, the 20, let me see here, 24th. They're going to be having a director's luncheon or meeting. Go to their Instagram, Chicano Hollywood, and check that out. Register. I think it's only like $10, but you get to meet these people that are in the industry, and you get to collaborate with them, talk to them, showcase your skills. Guys, make sure to subscribe to the Dreams to Reality YouTube. It's free. You just click a little button and you're subscribed, like, and we'll see you guys next time.